And what is going on there, everybody? It's another, I'm just going to call it a manic Monday. Very cold out. Very cold out. Just coming out from outside doing some errands. Ran a little bit late. But we are out here, I guess, as far as doing some more car mechanicing. I guess as far as we got another Monte Carlo to work on. Inventory's clear. It looks like we're doing good. Have done some more work in the off stream, I guess, as far as 2 or Gen 2. Completely reworked the underbody. Still gonna be a work in progress. I don't have, in fact, I don't know if it applied. I can't remember if I did or not. Could probably get this one up on the stands, I guess, as far as to see, but really doing a complete redo, I guess, as far as of the drag trim, to include having a more gutted out interior, roll cage, all that good stuff, tubbed out in the back. All that good stuff. So that's going to be a complete rework, so that'll require a separate type of underbody in comparison to the SS Z28 and the standard. So yeah, I got a lot of that going on. So something that I noticed on this Monte Carlo, and I did point it out to the creator, as far as what's going on here. So just to kind of show this off here a little bit, it does kind of bug me that I hope this gets edited. So I did put some feelers out there to the creator for this one here. But when you look at the rear seat that's provided by the game, I guess as far as on this thing, it is poking through on the body. I'll need to take the tire off just as far as just to show that. So if you look at this, boop, that is the rear seat. That's a big no-no, I think, as far as I think of that. Now, on top of the way everything else is done here, I do like the way this underbody is done. And this has given me a lot of influence to be able to clean up the way we've done our Gen 2 Camaro. Yeah, that's kind of yucky, I guess, as far as you got that sticking through the body. So I'm hoping that gets fixed. You know, it's just little things like that, I guess, as far as I happen to notice. And it seems to be the same across all the different trims of the Monte. So even if we were to look at this guy, be the same issue. Let's turn our flashlight off. So just out of curiosity, we'll go ahead and put this on here really quick, just to kind of compare notes. But little things like that, I guess, as far as I get it, because I deal with the same problems with designing our own car, I guess, as far as how to get those things to line up and not do the things. But some of these things like that can be, you know, manipulated in the editor itself. So there should be no excuse for this. None, I guess, as far as you should be able to modify the body and or adjust, I guess, as far as the seat, I guess, as far as to not have it do that. That's pretty obvious to me. Yeah, so I think at some point we'll get the Gen 2, I guess, as far as on there, and I can show. I think I did get that applied, I guess, as far as I think I did spit out the car file. So yeah, we tried to our best, I guess, as far as to get an actual frame to line up with the subframe. Didn't really accomplish that, but got to figure out, I guess, as far as how to get that. Oh, that's the wrong wheel. That's the wrong wheel. That goes on the other one. So we need this dude. So yeah, just to kind of give you an idea of some of the things I've been messing with in the off stream. And some reason the Tangia did not on pause. God, I'm so ready to get rid of that. So tired. I'm sure you all are tired of me complaining about it too. Alrighty then. So we got this Monte Carlo, I guess, as far as to work on. We got this from auction, and it's pretty much in the yeller. This one is the. What is this one? This is the 454 SS. So yeah, this is one of the other trims we did not have. This one does have the bucket seats with the console. I kind of like this trim, I think, the most out of all of them, I guess, as far as having the bucket seats with the console as opposed to just the bench seat in both front and back. So let's put this starter back on. Yeah, we got this one pretty well cleaned up here, so we're just at the point of being able to compare notes between the different trims of this. I do like the potential for this car, definitely. I've been trying my best to, on our own cars, get as far as to get things like this shroud. I want to get something similar, I guess, as far as onto the Gen 2. It's not like we can actually take this piece off of this car because it's all, you know, slapped together, I guess, as far as we don't have the means to do that. That's kind of unfortunate, but kind of like the way that's done. Now we don't. I've mentioned before on this trim here with this engine, probably don't need that shroud. You could probably leave that out. Matter of fact, so that could require, I guess, as far as a separate config, I guess, as far as to get rid of that on that trim, at least anyway. On this one, it would be fine, because you do have the radiator fan. Yeah. Like the bead rolling on this. There's a lot of things I do like about this car. Can't say that enough. So I think we did get this running. Let me check the oil here really quick and see, because I don't remember where we left off with this guy. Just a lot of things going on, and it's kind of crunch time, I feel, for me, I guess, as far as to get something done with the Gen 2 before CMS 26 comes out, at least the demo. Why can't I get to this dipstick? What the heck's going on here? This is silly. Why can't I get to the dipstick? So the collision is way far out on this thing. It won't let me get any closer than that. That's a problem. Even as I try to move in like that, I kind of float to one side. But this allows me from getting to the dipstick. That's not cool. Try this way. Yep, she is low on oil. Let's go ahead and so I think we found this one at the tail end of last stream we had, I guess, at first. So we're gonna get some fresh oil in there. And let's see if we can... Where'd that oil fill at? There's the oil fill. Put some fresh oil in there and we'll see if we can get it running. So it needs some other fluids too, but I'm not going to worry about that. I just want to see if it'll run. It should run by putting some oil in it. This is what I like about the auction cars, I guess, as far as that just need the oil. How much in the hole we are with it? Not that bad. Not too bad. Alright, let's see if she'll run. I feel like sound like a broken record. She's a runner. Nice. She's a runner. Cool. That was a good deal. That was a good buy. Was that a barn find car? No, this is the auction. I believe it was a 2 or 3 star. I was going there interstate. Just yanking on the dipstick, right? What's going on there, interstate? Also, hold on here. I gotta refresh my chat. Good evening there, Jack Dog. As far as, yeah, to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I try to be rude. I know I was kind of just spewing at the mouth, I guess, as far as all kinds of things going on in the off stream. But yeah, this was an auction find. So just to reiterate, and I believe it was a 2 or 3 star in this condition. Mostly in a yeller. Oh wow, yeah, we're gonna get this thing fixed up. It does run. Oh, let's get these body panels off there. We'll get that fixed. We'll weld the frame, all that good stuff. Yeah, so other than, like I just pointed out, with, you know, the seats poking through, I guess, as far as on the underbody, I guess, as far as that's easily fixable, and I'm hoping the designer of this car does that. It does fix that, because that's just kind of takes away from the aesthetics of the car. When you're working on the underneath and you see that rear seat kind of poking through, I mean, this is pretty well done. I mean, just look at how nice that is. I'm still struggling too, I guess, as far as to get the textures, the game textures, I guess, as far as to apply to like the carpet and such like that. So even like the plastics on here, they just look way smooth instead of having that roughed texture to it, as well as the floor. I did redo the floor. So some of you might remember, I guess, as far as I had a really funky thing going on in this area behind the seat. That's all been fixed. Same goes on this side. No, I think I still got, I might have to do some massaging here yet, because I got the exhaust kind of poking through there a little bit. but it's way better than it was. Still haven't figured out, like I said, I guess as far as you get that material, the game material, I guess as far as to show up on that. I don't know if I need to upscale the map, the texture mapping to that, or what the deal is. I'm not really sure. New body color? Yeah, I would probably put a different color on this one. White is just too simple. I'm not sure what we'll go with, but might leave it up for a, yeah. We'll have you in chat there, I guess, as far as decide. Texas rust-free car. You know, I think this game here, if I had to guess, I think we're on Route 66, but I think it's either Phoenix or it's either Nevada or Arizona that we're located. I don't remember for sure, I guess, as far as where exactly we're located, but I don't think it's Texas. I mean, maybe. Yeah, white's too blah. Yeah, I want to do it just a different color for sure. So one of the more popular colors for this generation of Monte Carlo, and I've applied it before, is like that champagne color. It's kind of like a goldish brown. I don't know, that kind of color just always seems to go really well with these generations of cars. We may or may not go with that, we'll see. So this one ended up being this deep blue. That turned out really good for that one. I can't remember what other colors we've got for the other trims, like the standard in that. I don't remember what colors those were. I definitely want to do it something different than what those are. But I got all the body panels off this. This one does have the vinyl top on it. Looks pretty good too. I'm not a big fan of the vinyl top. I like more just the hard top like that, but the way this one's done, it's pretty great. Looks good. Alrighty then, so we got taillights, rear bumper. Collars of error, right. Two-door hardtop, yeah. This one's the 454 SS trim. This one here is the custom. Oh, this one's the drag, I take that. We do have a custom as well. This one they did is drag. It's got the more modern LS into it. And like I've already pointed out on this one, this should not have the shroud for this type of engine. So this should be this should not be in here. That's another thing I've mentioned with the creator of this car, as far as like if you're going to create a drag car with this modern engine, it should not have that shroud. This one's fine for this type of engine. It has a radiator fan. That makes sense to have that. But the detail on this one here, the fact that it's got the vents here on the B pillar, that's pretty dope. I guess as far as they always had these vents here in this these era cars, just allowed for ventilation. I guess as far as in between. I don't know really why they were put in there, but I don't have that on this one here. And these were pretty evident too on the Gen 2 Camaros. I don't have that on there though. Let alone to put a, so little things too. I guess as far as like the door spike. I guess as far as for the latch. Things like that. I'm still working on possibly getting some hinges under the hood. It's just a lot of little stuff. Trying our best. Alright, so I think I got all the body panels off of that. Let's go ahead and get these fixed up when we can. G-body? Yeah, so F-body. I think this one, it's funny that you mentioned that they're interstate, because the G-body, as we know it, right? Those are a full frame body frame, right? F bodies are these unibody with the subframes. But I think this Monte Carlo, and I think it is set up as a G body. It looks like it because it's got the full frame. It's got the full body frame. Now the approach I've taken to the Gen 2 Camaro, which is a F body design, I have created, I guess as far as a full body frame, just in an effort to get the subframe into the right position, right? So I've created a full length frame, I guess as far as from front to back, only in an effort, I guess as far as to get it lined up with the subframes. So that's something I have done, I guess as far as in the offstream for that. Right, so for anybody that knows, and I might have said this wrong in the past, the F bodies are the subframe. This one here from what I can tell on it. If I can get this up on the lift here, it is a G-body setup. Now, I don't know if that's the way these Monte Carlos for this generation, which is a 1970, were set up that way. You know, if they were G-bodies, I don't know. So don't hold me on that, but as you can see, this frame is full on. It goes all the way from front to back. Now, I guess what they tried to do is much the same that I've been doing on the Gen 2 Camaro, is to tuck the full frame, I guess, as far as into the underbody. That gives it that effect, I guess, as far as of having subframes, right, with the cross members. I'm not sure if that's what they tried to do or what, but I've taken a similar approach, just in an effort to make sure that the subframes line up with the whole body of the car. So yeah, I'm not sure what the designer of this one approach was to it. You stop using full frame after a certain year with Monte Carlo. See, that I can't confirm. I know more about the Camaros than I do the Montes, but I am a Chevy guy, so I'm kind of a connoisseur of sorts. Really like the way this. There's a lot of things I like about this car, as far as like how the firewall's been done. Pretty legit, I guess, as far as the spacing between the firewall and the back of the engine. I don't have that way on this one, unfortunately. I still got to work on that. This one I got way too much space in between the back of the engine and the firewall. So I do need to work on that. It needs a shroud, probably a core support, much the same that this one has. So the combination of the core support they have on this one with the shroud, so good. It gives me a lot of inspiration to get this done right. And I want to do it right. We've gotten this far with it, I guess, as far as definitely just don't want to half-ass it. What's going on there, Ghoulish Man? Carmen's Camaro has a frame, which is a 97. Okay, so this one here, so it has a full frame. This one here, I think, does have the full frame on it. This one is a 96. This one is a 90. This one's a 90. I don't know for sure. This is why it's kind of neat. I didn't have anything to do with this one. This one's created by the same person that did the Monte Carlo. So I'm going by what they know about these types of cars. And this one is my edit of this one here. It removes the necessity for the steering wheel, which requires the police DLC. Plus, I also changed the rims. These, I think, are a lot closer to the IROC rims than what was on there. But yeah, as far as this one, I don't remember if this has a full frame or not. I don't remember, but this one's done pretty well, too. It's pretty period correct, I guess, as far as on all the aspects, as far as the badging. The way I would have done this with the badging, I would have made these much the same I did on the Gen 2. Make these removable and or a delete. That's what I would have done. Now, they took the approach on this one, I guess, as far as just to do liveries, which is fine. That's not terrible. But for, like, these badging here on the spoiler, I would have made this removable. Irregardless if you want to keep this here on the door as a livery for the paint. Yeah. Yeah, so this does look like an IROC Z, right? This is what this one's labeled as. So I remember the very first ones, the first production models, I guess, as far as that, I think that was back in 87. I don't remember what the run was for that. So I think it was 87, 88, somewhere in that time frame. And this is pretty much that body style. And it's always been my understanding that this was what's considered a G body. That's what I remember, at least. I never had an IROC Z. I've driven in one, and I've worked on, friends' ones of these, but I never had one myself. The only ones I have had is at a 76 Camaro, which is this Gen 2. The only difference, really, from my 76 to this 70 that I've done is, like, the rear lights and the front lights. So the way the parking lights are, they had the round ones next to the headlights instead of this way. That's really about the only difference. As far as the overall shape of the body curves, pretty much the same, all through the Gen 2. And then once they got into the 1980 version, I guess, as far as they changed it up again closer to this style, Very much like my Camaros. There I got last time again. Stole your what? What's going on there, Ghoulish, man? Yep, that would be a G body also. Yeah, so I guess that's what that would be. Now I've had that up on the rack, and I don't remember if it had a full frame like the Monte did, or it does or not. Not sure. Alright, so we did get these body panels fixed. I want to get this frame welded too. So we got all the body panels still off, so it's going to be red. We'll get them back on there. Let's get this welded. So yeah, what's been going on there, Interstate? I've been looking to see, I haven't gotten the notifications for live stream, so hope everything's going okay. Go ahead and weld that. 1604 to get this one welded. It's an odd amount. Motivation. Yeah, I noticed their Ghoulishman. Okay, I think I see what you're saying. I did notice that your submissions to the Steam Workshop are no longer there. I still have the original folder. Upon you deleting that, I guess as far as apparently, I still have those. I thought we had figured out what was wrong. And I wasn't sure if you're going to resubmit that or not. I guess as far as so I've found this issue myself. I guess as far as so. When you create a configuration, it does have to be no number after the config or body config. When, you know, so for your Steam Workshop, I think I've already mentioned this, so I'm going to say it again. I changed all of the ones that I submitted because there are some comments in some of them that they're not able to find it, let alone to load it up in the editor, right? So what seems to work, the config that you send, that you upload to the Steam Workshop, you need to have it no numbers after config or body config. It has to be like a default type of deal. Otherwise, it will not load, either in the editor or in the game. So that's what I've taken the initiative, I guess, as far as to fix the ones that I've submitted, and hopefully those should work now. I have confirmed that with a couple of folks that I know, I guess, as far as to try them out for themselves, and they have confirmed with me. So hopefully, you find it necessary, I guess, as far as to resubmit those. I was unaware of the fact, I'll admit, I guess as far as I was unaware that it had to be a specific format for that. When you look at a lot of the other configs that are available on the Steam Workshop and you download those and check out them in your workshop folder for the game, they're set up that way too. So it does kind of justify what I say, that they have to be in that certain format. God, I want to paint. Yeah, we're gonna paint this thing so bad. It's too white. Don't like it. Yeah, we'll figure out a color for this. Have you fixed it free? I mean, I still have the folders, like I was saying, I guess as far as from the original submission. I changed it the way it should be, I guess as far as in the submission, to remove the numbers from config and body config and so on. So it works in that regard, but as far as it being available on the Steam Workshop, that's up to you. Let's see, so we got to get some new winders. You've been waiting for a load. Cancel the Sunday load because they have it routed wrong. They're waiting for a load now to haul. Oh, I gotcha. So that would explain, I guess, as far as yeah, why you weren't streaming. Well, too bad. Hopefully, get that all situated there, Interstate. For anybody that's not following Interstate, you should do that. Get some IRL trucking. In fact, let's do this here for Interstate. Let's see. Will this work? I guess my button's not working. We'll try it that way. Cool. Trying to give you a shout out there, I guess, as far as I gotta fix my stream deck there. Alright, so where were we? We were trying to get... Oh, crud, I forgot what was it. Oh, winders. That's right. Get some winders. We gotta go to... No, get out of that. This guy, and then we got so many mod cars. Here, make sure we get the right winders. Get all the right winders. all the right places. I think I did that right. Go back window. Side window. No, no, no. That's the wrong one. Hold on a minute. I get to the wrong one. Symbol. Put that on the list. I don't know what that was about. Let's try that again. Yeah, so now there's 2 on there. So apparently I didn't get the right stuff. You got the right stuff. Baby, I gotta update my list. Got too many of these on here. There we go. What does work? So have you tried it there, Ghoulishman? I guess as far as to do that. Now, what's kind of crazy, this is how I got confused, because if you've got the config, I guess as far as in your car directory, right? Of course it's going to work, irregardless of it being the Steam Workshop download, right? Another thing that and this goes for anybody that does submit a car to the Steam Workshop, make sure, God, I cannot stress this enough, do not try to, if you already got it in your car directory, I guess as far as for an edit, within your assets, I guess as far as for your game install, don't subscribe to your own submission, I guess as far as the Steam Workshop, because that will jack things up in your game. I came to find that out the hard way. So just in an effort to test it out to make sure it worked properly, I found one of my cars configs, I guess as far as that I've got uploaded to the Steam Workshop. I did not sell that, and what ended up happening is the car that I had that was in my my original, that was in my car directory, it jacked up that car as far as the configuration, and it just crashes the game. At least that's what it did for me. So, for goodness sake, I guess as far as if you have a configuration, I guess as far as submitted to the Steam Workshop, don't subscribe to your own mod upon that, because you're going to have that still in your own car directory for the game, and yeah, that'll mess some stuff up. I had to learn that the hard way, so I'm just passing along my my frustration on that. So we need one of those. Dang, I did it again, so I need only just one of those. Got too many of these on there. There's that, and then our windshield. I'm talking too much to the point where I'm screwing up the parts that I'm ordering. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Update that. Alright, now we're good. Okay, that's all the winders. We are 88% on body. Okay, so I still got some stuff here in the front, I think. What is that? Just plates? What are we missing here? I wonder if that last bit is just going to be plates. Let's check our parts list. Hoods on there. I'm not worried about those. That's tires. That's interior. Engine cover. Yep, I did miss that. Get that back on there. That is a body part. Indeed. Oh, I didn't take it off in the first place. Okay. That is considered a body part, so it does need to be dealt with to get it 100% on the body. Okay, so we should be about 90% now, which would be the license plates. Put that back on. Now, where are we at now? 90. Cool. So this last 10% is the plates, which I'm not going to worry about right now. That last 10% should be the license plates. Ooh. So there's the body and all that. Let's do some interior, and we'll get to these other parts. The upload worked. What does it offer for factory hubcaps? So we can put whatever rims we want on this. So this is what it has on here by default, which I think is pretty close to the SS as far as the GM rally wheels. We have, so there's this style, right? And there's also this style. Right? These are the closest that we have that are the GM rally. Right? So actually either one of these between this one and the one they's got on there is pretty close. It's probably not exact, but it's pretty darn close. Now we can put whatever rim we want on this, right? But I like what's on here. I guess as far as that's pretty close to accurate. I didn't even notice this too. He's got the badging as a livery there. So I would have done this as a removable badge. I'm working on that for Gen 2 to have displacement badges on the fender as removable and or delete. That's still something else we're trying to work on there. So not necessarily a wrong way, I guess, as far as to go about it, to put these types of badges, I guess, as far as a livery on the car is supposed to have a badge. I like the badge option, quite honestly. So if you want to make a sleeper with no badges on it and still have it to be 100%, I think doing the removable badges, as far as, is the way to go, in my opinion. I like that. So yeah, we're gonna do some interior. Oh, we got a raffle going on there too. You got it online? Those look like slot rims. These here, I don't know what they consider. I was thinking these are more like the rally, only because of the center hub. More of the slot ones would be like these. Yeah, similar to like this, or even this out here. These would be what I considered slot rims, because they have the spoke. Like I said, I don't feel like these are exactly like what they had on the Monte, but they're pretty close, especially with the center cap. So either that or the one we have on the Gen 2 Camaro. We don't have a lot of things in the game that are exact, but they are in the likeness of. You know, branding and all that kind of stuff. So let's get this taken out. Get some new interior. So even though the back seat, I guess, as far as does poke through on the underbody, like I already previously shown, it's just little stuff like that. I just hope it gets fixed. So it kind of bugs me. I do like how they got these fixed floor mats, I guess, as far as into the floor. That's pretty cool too. I might try and do that if I can get the texturing. So this is done pretty well. Obviously, it's kind of soiled, but the texturing on this is the way it should be looking on our Gen 2. But I don't know what I'm doing wrong, I guess, as far as getting that texture to show up on there right. It just looks flat. And I'm not 100% sure why. I've tried to upscale the texture mapping and downscale it. I've tried to put it all different size scale, and it just shows up that way. I'm not really sure why that is. Now, I've been able to get the in-game textures to work on such things like the lights. So I figured, you know, that much out. It should work much the same way for interior textures. So chrome comes out pretty good. This is all in-game textures. These turned out really good. Even on the backlights, as far as the lenses for those, got that diamond pattern to it. You know, even on the reverse light, I mean, those turned out pretty good. That's all texture map. That's all in-game textures. So yeah, it kind of drives me crazy, I guess, as far as to why I can't get the interior textures, I guess, as far as to show up correctly. 300 SL Resto mod. The ones on the white car are more slotted rims than the Camaro. Those look like custom rims for aftermarket. They could be. So, I don't know. I guess maybe your definition of a slotted rim as opposed to, I guess I can see what you mean. So the slots that you mean, I guess, these have slots on it too, I guess. Very minimal. But it's got a lot bigger center cap too. I guess I see what you mean there, Interstate. As far as bike, this just has bigger slots on it. I think that's just the developer's take, I guess, as far as on those GM rally rims, because the really what gives it away for me as far as the center caps. They had these that style like that, similar to that, not exact, but pretty close. This center console, that's just killer right there. We did a lot of work too, I guess, as far as on the Gen 2, to kind of line up the transmission tunnel, I guess, as far as a lot closer to where it's supposed to be. So we got a lot more of the drive shaft, for example, I guess, as far as lined up through the tunnel. It's not skewed one way or the other, left or right. Could probably use a little bit more fine tuning, but yeah, it lines up a lot better than it did. I just need to be able to fix this gap between the back of the engine and the firewall. So being able to either move that forward this way, so that you have a similar type of gap like this Monte has. This is almost pretty legit. So the back of the engine is not right up against the firewall. It's got that little bit of room, so you can get at such things like the fuel filter. Yeah, I like it. So yeah, you're getting sidetracked. Let's do some interior. So let's do assemble. Get some new seats, and let's get that put back together. Oop. So we got to go to the interior shop and get these ordered. So we got 2 new buckets for the front. We got 1 bench for the back, and steering wheel. And that is the default in-game TBX, which is also known as the Pontiac GTO. Again, probably not 100% accurate, but probably pretty close. Yeah, let's go ahead and assemble. Add a longer drive shaft. What do you mean a longer drive shaft? I forgot what we were talking about. So drive shaft we got here, I guess, as far as so let's do normal. So that's our interior. Here is we gotta detail it. That's gonna be that last bit. Get that to 100%. Let's get that detailed. They don't detail it from the auction. Kind of bogus. I guess they should detail that interior, but we're gonna do it. So let's move this over here. Get that done. Get her done. Yeah. Well, so what were we meaning there instead about longer drive shaft? Let's get that out of the way. So this should be 100% on. Cool deal. Alright, we got that all done. So body and that is good to go. Alright, so other than the color, don't worry about the color. We'll figure out a different color. So what colors? It's got the white. So this is what they had on there, I guess, as far as stock. Don't really care for that color. So I'm thinking more of a champagne. Like a brownish gold. Maybe for that one. Yeah, we'll think about that. So you're 85 at a 305 and swap that over to 350. Had a mess up transmission, which was 200. Ooh, nice. And put in a 200. Oh yeah. Longer transmission. Yeah, see, we don't have that ability, I guess, as far as to adjust all that type of stuff in this game. It doesn't get that specific. What I tried to do with what's available in the game for the Gen 2 is to at least try to closely match, I guess, as far as the engine that was in there. Which for the SS would have been that small block 350, so the SBC, and it would have had 350 horse. The Z28 had 360 horse. Just checking all the specs. Mine was a 305. That I had was a 76. Mine was the 305, I guess, as far as that. I had that board 30 over. So it was a sleeper. So I could pretty much get the same amount of horsepower out of the SS or Z28 in my 305. I kind of missed that car. That was been my inspiration, I guess, as far as to do these Gen 2s. I initially went the direction, I guess, as far as to 100% mimic, I guess, as far as my 76 that had the more bullet lights that kind of pointed at the ends here instead of the first production runs, I guess, as far as of the Gen 2, which were the round. But I do like the look of these rounds. Those are just classic. They're time capsule. So the fact that they did the Monte, this Monte is done pretty. Now this also is pretty reminiscent of the same generation of Pontiac Grand Prix. Pretty much the same. All done by GM and such, I guess, as far as so. There were subtle differences in the body, I guess, as far as with the Grand Prix, mainly on the front end. Back end was pretty similar, you know, as far as I had the the rocket ship, I guess, as far as type of tail lights. Alright, we need to dig into this guy. So we know it runs. We just need to get this engine out of here so we can fix that up. So let's drain the oil. Yeah, as far as the matching up 100%, the way these different body trims are, it's kind of hard. We don't have that all to do now. Apparently, there is the ability, which I've come to be told, I guess, as far as in the TK aftermarket. I've had so many problems trying to get that to work with what I already got going here on this save game. So I don't know if it would necessarily require a brand new save game to deal with TK aftermarket. I'm not sure, but I just know trying to apply the TK aftermarket deal, I guess, as far as to an already existing save game is not a good idea.
Lucy, I'm home.
Yo, we got Racer Batman coming in there. Are we doing a Racer Batman? Noise. Okay, let's get this out of the way. So I know Ghoulishman had mentioned, as far as he got that re-uploaded. Now, I know you weren't having the problem there, Ghoulishman, I guess, as far as for getting it uploaded, right? It's a matter of getting it, you know, to actually populate, especially in the editor, right? So, we may or may not at least test that out for you just to make sure, just to confirm that it is working. Be able to load that in the editor. I know that's what I had to do, anyway. Change the config names should work now. Yeah, so the only way you can really test this, and you can do this yourself too. So to kind of elaborate what I've already mentioned as far as like don't subscribe to your own mod. If you've still got it, that configuration, I guess, as far as in your game directory, remove that config, be it config and body config, from your game files. Subscribe to your mod on the Steam Workshop, right? And then make sure that loads in the editor. It'll actually populate in the editor. That's how you can know for sure, I guess, as far as that that the Steam Workshop mod is legit. See, that's the problem I was having, because that config was named wrong. So again, it doesn't do any good, I guess, as far as to keep the config for the deal that you uploaded to the Steam Workshop, to make sure that it loads, because of course it's going to load because it's still in your game directory. In order to really check to make sure that the Steam Workshop upload is going to work, you got to take that out of your game files and subscribe to your own mod. But just make sure you unsubscribe to it after you confirm that it works. They don't explain that to you, but that's what you would have to do. Alright, let's go ahead and drain this oil out. Doo-be-doo-be-doo. Wait a minute, did that drain? I guess it did. No, see, from what I remember, their Ghoulishman, you know, and it's been a little while, but you were able to get it uploaded, but when it would download, because like I said, I still got the folders from the two configurations that you submitted, but it had, the configs were named wrong. So it wasn't a problem with you being able to upload it. It just would not populate because the config files were named incorrectly. That's what I remember. You got an error after. See, I don't know what that issue was all about. I can't really explain that one. As far as the error that you were getting, trying to upload it, I just remember it did work because it would download it. I still, like I said, I still have the folders from the original upload. Okay, we're gonna take this all back off so we can get this out of here. So let me check the dipstick, make sure that oil did drain. Alright, she's empty. Alright, just want to double check that. Alright, now we can get this dismantled down below. Jack Dog gonna try it out? Oh yeah, feel free to let us know there if you do check it out. So that one's the Mercedes, right? I forget which one was what. So the SL, the 300 SL. Yeah, if you get it to work, there, Jack Dog, you can definitely let us know. Yep, let's get this all dismantled. I just remember too, I was able to get it to load on my end, still keeping it in that folder. So this is how I came to know that I did mine wrong, is that original Steam upload, I still have the folders for on my desktop. So I'll have to obviously replace those. I was able to rename those configs. I think I might have messaged you about that there, Ghulishman, I guess, as far as, so I don't know if you got that message or not, but I could get those to load in the editor, and it would put the proper upload number, I guess, as far as from the Steam Workshop in the editor. So that's how I knew that's how that works properly. I feel kind of dumb now, I guess, as far as all this time that I've had the ones up there incorrectly. I've corrected them now, I guess, as far as, but yeah, the fact that they've been up there all that time, I guess, as far as incorrectly. Okay, so we should be able to pull this engine. I don't think I have any of these engines built. Let me double check here. Well, this one has the SS. I don't think I have any of those built. Just to double check. Oop, we gotta go to the warehouse first. So I do have a couple OHVs. And one of those, I do not have an SS. Okay, so that one, we'll just have to fix that one that's in there. We'll have to refurbish that one. I'll get our crane. I feel like a chicken with my head cut off, I guess, as far as there's just so much going on, especially in the off stream. Oh, I forgot to take those one sections off. I always forget that. Every stinking time. So how are you testing their jacked out, just out of curiosity? Are you checking it in the editor? Because I think you take the approach of loading it in the salon, which is another option too. So either in the editor or at the salon. So if it doesn't load either way, obviously it probably still doesn't work. Which doesn't make any sense if that's the case. Where's that pipe? Right here. Gotta get this guy out. Yeah, I just wonder if it would make a difference if you try to load it in the editor. I'm just curious. Okay, now we should be able to pull it. I always take the approach to do the editor, because if it loads in the editor with the proper Steam Workshop number, and it's that long string of numbers, I guess, as far as in the editor, then you know for sure it should work. Just a matter of it loading in the game itself. So I'm just going by what I do. Because I think I've tried that before as far as to load it in the salon. So the way the game caches, files, the editor is kind of separate from the game itself. That's why you're able to transition to the main menu of the game from the editor if you got quality of life mod. So it's like two separate things, is what I've come to find. All right, engine is out. I think I'm gonna charge the battery. Oh, boom, boom. You can spawn a 300 SO config in the salon. Well, Ghulishman, that's what Jack Dawes is mentioning as far as he tried it to spawn in the salon and it don't. And this is the other thing I've been trying to say, I guess, as far as if you still have, so for you it probably will work if you still have that config in your game files, right? As opposed to being subscribed to your own mod from Steam Workshop. Of course it's going to load because it's in your game files, right? So what needs to be confirmed is, does the Steam Workshop upload actually work as far as to be able to spawn? That's the true question. Hopefully that's understanding. It's deactivated. Why did you deactivate it? We're trying to test it. So obviously if you deactivate it, if Jackdaw's trying to test it, it's obviously not going to work. But not in the salon because it's deactivated. No. See, okay, here's a if you don't have it spawn, so the salon option, I know what you're talking about now. So if you don't have it to spawn at the salon, I guess as far as a car that you can buy, that's that option. You can still spawn it on the carousel, right? So if you go to where you can load up the different cars on the carousel, the roundabout, the thing that spins around, that should still be able to load the car in that spot. That's what Jackdaw is testing. So if the Steam Workshop upload is working correctly, that should still load in that spot. It just won't. If you have it not allowed, I guess as far as a spot for it to spawn automatically, you know, with the salon spot, that just means it won't spawn as a car you can buy on the show floor. That's what that means. So hopefully that's a little bit of explanation for that. Because I got confused with that too, with what I've tested. So that's the difference with that. Yeah, if you got any further confusion about that, I guess as far as I'll try to re-explain it, but yeah, okay, so as long as you know what I mean. Yeah, so any mod car or any mod config to include default cars, all trims of whatever car that you have subscribed to should be able to go on that the spinny turntable over at the salon. So it's just another thing, like if you're in the game and you subscribe to it and so on, as opposed to going into the editor, you should be able to load it either way. Now let's get this unmounted. I've learned that you know, just a lot of folks will help you out, I guess, as far as in the Red Dot Discord. That's where I've gotten clarified, I guess, as far as how that works. A lot of helpful people in there. So yeah, if you don't hear it from here, I guess as far as you can always get the information from there as well. They've tried to help me a lot, I guess, as far as to try to figure out how I'm, you know, how the textures are not showing up properly. I've even gotten explained to where it might come down to something I need to do in the Unity itself for the interior materials. It's like what doesn't make any sense to me though is like, how can I get things like the headlight texture and the taillight texture, I guess, as far as show up without doing anything other than just in the Blender in comparison to Unity. I don't do anything in Unity to fix that, and it just seems to show up correctly. But I did previously had an issue with the grill. Some of you might remember that too, where couldn't get this to show up full. And what I came to find through explanation, I guess, as far as on the Red Dot Discord, is the texture I was trying to apply to the grill originally. It was a transparent, so it was like a mesh, and that's not what I wanted to use. That's not what I should have been using. So just by changing out the texture, the type of texture that's applied to that, that fixed that problem. So that's how I've been able to progress, I guess, as far as thus far, I guess, as far as with certain things, with designing our own car and such. Let's get these fuses out of here. So they were just waiting on. I don't know if Jackdaw is still testing that out in the editor. Appreciate you testing that out there, Jackdaw, if you take that approach. Alright, let's get this guy out. So it's not in the editor either? That's weird. I'm gonna have to try it out myself just for giggles. So one thing that they did on this firewall, they included the wiper motor, which is kind of neat. Really good on the beat rolling too. That's solid. Got to be able to do something for beat rolling on our Gen 2. Alright, so engine is out. Let's get this on the stand. I'll have to refurbish this fella. Yep. Yeah, we got that all done. Let's go ahead and break this guy down. Fix her up. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out myself. Yeah, there should be no reason why it's I wouldn't give up on it, quite honestly there, Ghoulish Man. I wouldn't give up on it. Oh, I think the bot kind of torched that one. I don't know what you said, I guess at first that's not telling me, but if you cussing at the bot, I don't like that. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't give up on it, I guess, as far as it's probably just something simple. You know, it could be something as simple as Steam has got it flagged. You know, that upload, that config for that car being uploaded to their workshop. Maybe it's disallowing you for some reason. I mean, if it comes down to it, I'll upload it myself, because I have not done that myself, and I'll just make sure you get the credit. I mean, I will do that. I would not put it past it that it's probably flagged on Steam that you've tried to upload this many different times, and there's probably something cached on their end as far as that it's saving, you know, a previous upload that didn't work, right? And that's maybe why it's not working, I guess, as far as properly. So if it comes down to it, I will upload the darn thing myself, I guess, as far as just make sure you get the credit. Because it's not really that hard. From what I've come to find out. You just have to make sure, and I'm sure I don't doubt that you probably did. But from your end, as far as like when you're trying to upload from your same device or same PC or whatever, Steam's probably got it to where it's like, well, I've got it in my memory, I guess, as far as that this didn't work before, or you uploaded it wrong, and it's just continuously applying that instead. That's what I would understand of what's probably happening. So it probably doesn't matter how many times that you upload it, even if it is in the proper way, it's probably gonna make it not work. Which there should be some type of system, if that's the case, on Steam Workshop to let you know that that's the deal. That's my only simplest explanation I can have for what's probably going on. This has got a very unique exhaust header to it. That's the SS, OHV SS. That's kind of wicked. I don't think I've done enough of these engines to kind of... Even the head covers, I guess, as far as are very unique. That's pretty slick. 3.4. What's 3.4? Do 3.4. Yeah, but see, here's the thing, and I'm just speaking from experience on here too. There's been plenty of times that I've uploaded or tried to before I understood, I guess, as far as really how the Steam Workshop works. But when you try to upload one and it either gives you an error or it doesn't actually work, you know, as far as to be able to subscribe to it and it actually will spawn, those you want to stay away from, more than likely, from re-uploading. So I thought if you give it a try, I guess, as far as maybe by doing it properly, maybe that would, you know, change how the Steam Workshop upload is working. But apparently it's not. So it was worth a try. But now I'm just speaking from experience for uploads, for configs or whatever that I've tried to upload that have been uploaded incorrectly. Like what I had to do for the configs that I fixed, I just did an update. So I had those still apply. I don't know how you did it. If you rename the folder or how you did it, it's just... I think that Steam Workshop uploader is very picky on how you name things, I guess, as far as your upload folder and such. And if you don't change, you know, for example, if you don't change it enough, I guess, as far as to make it different from a previous upload, it's going to cache a lot of that information. So if one was incorrect, done incorrectly, I guess, as far as at one point, it's just going to keep reading that that information over and over again. There's really no way, I guess, as far as to dump.
Racer Batman says rockin' sports car rolls, rockin' sports car rolls, rockin' sports car
nice.
rolls, rockin' loops, rockin' loops, rockin' wows, rockin' steer, rockin' steer, jet-rock.
That's Racer Batman's way of saying, just shut up and listen to this TTS. Quit your yapping and just listen to this TTS. Thank you for that, Racer Batman. So you deleted the old one, and so did you rename the upload folder itself? As far as what folder that the Steam Workshop uploader is gonna, did you rename it at all? Like for example, or did you keep the same name? Because a lot of times, I know you tried that before, and I think it didn't work all that great. But what that'll do on their automated system, from what I've come to find, this is why I was able to do the way I did it with the configs I already have uploaded there. Maintain either the same name or change the name of that to allow it to work. I guess as far as that, I don't know how else to explain it. I feel like I'm talking in circles, I guess, as far as how to get that to work. You gotta basically trick the Steam Workshop automated system, I guess, as far as to say this is a new file, right? And one of the ways you can do that potentially is if you deleted the old one, create a new new folder, your upload folder for all that information that you upload from your own PC, rename it to something entirely different, so that it understands it as being a different upload. I don't know if you have done that or not, but that's the best way I can describe it. I've had to do that myself on certain uploads. What engine is in it? I don't know. I guess Ghoulishman would have to. As far as in that Mercedes, I want to say it was a B10. Oh, that was the 392 Hemi. Okay. The rear wheel drive. So it does require DLC. As long as you have the DLC, it should work fine. But again, I would maybe try that again there, Ghoulishman, I guess, as far as if you have not renamed the upload folder. Another thing that will help too, as far as log out of your Steam, rename the folder, the upload folder, to where what you're trying to upload there, to help clear any type of memory that Steam has of what you're trying to upload. So between those two things, log out of your Steam, log back in, rename the upload folder, so that when you go to upload it, it's going to see that as a new file, one that you haven't previously already tried to upload. I'm just using from experience, I guess, as far as what I've done, I guess, as far as to get those deals to work, especially if they don't work. You got it, you think? It's with the DLC car. Is it really? So is that confirmed there? I know for me, I guess, as far as when I rename the config on my end, it would just show at the bottom. At the bottom in the editor, I guess, as far as that, with the Steam Workshop number, that long string of numbers, what number it assigns, I guess, as far as to the upload. That's the way it was showing for me. But just the fact that it shows it all in the drop down, I guess, as far as for the config to load, that should be good. You have a resto and Viper rims. Yeah, whatever you put on it. Yeah, it's the DLC. Okay, so it does show up in the DLC. So you have to look for the Mercedes 300 SL, and then it's in there. That was kind of different for me. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, so like I said, for me, it showed as a separate config down on the way on the bottom of the list, I guess, as far as when you're selecting your cars, with the Steam Workshop number applied to it. But I guess as long as it's showing, as long as you go under that DLC car for the Mercedes, that should be good. You have a Resto with a Hemi, with Viper rims. So you did find it there? Is that confirmed there, Jackdaw? You were able to get that to load? And irregardless if you tried to load it through the salon or the editor. Okay, so we got that all stripped down. Get that daggone thing figured out yet. That I could tell you from the first time that you have. Look at the DLC car. Again, I'm just trying to explain for when I updated it on my end, when it was still available on the Steam Workshop, when it wasn't working, I just renamed the config files within that original Steam Workshop upload number that it assigned to it. And what it was doing for me in the editor was putting it as a separate line, I guess as far as on the very bottom of the list, not included in with the Mercedes DLC. So that may be different, I guess, as far as now that it's done correctly. Okay, let's get these parts fixed up. Put this engine back together. So I guess the general rule of thumb here, as long as if it's loading for someone else from the Steam Workshop, I guess as far as then should be fixed. Hopefully you got it fixed. From the sounds of it, it looks like it is. So I've heard Jackdaw mention a couple things about the car, so I'm assuming that's working. And just to confirm, if you could, Jackdaw, was that through the editor or the salon? And or both? Get it 100% confirmed. I don't want to have to second guess, I guess, as far as what I've had to fix on my uploads. Because, I haven't had anybody comment ever since I re-uploaded those, I guess, as far as with the proper name of the configs. Nobody's really said anything since I have fixed those, so I'm hoping everything is good. Both I have just gone to the editor and it's there. Nice. Cool deal. Alright, so we got it figured out there, Ghoulish Man. I might have to go and check it out myself. I'm kind of curious to know what kind of number to assign to it now in comparison to what I previously had. I still have those folders from the original. Kind of curious. Alright, so what I'm going to do... let's get this back on the stand. Boop. Yeah, you got me kind of curious now. So what I'm going to do... Let me save this up. We'll get back to this here in a minute. Let's go here. Save it. Cool. And let's head back to the main menu. Yes. I already saved it. We're good. Now I want my car request. If you got enough sanity points. Want to keep that fair. Alright, so what I need to do... I want to do this. Let's get out of this. Alright, we need a little bit of... do that. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go to the Steam Workshop. Outside of this, let's go to here. We're going to go to here. Go to the workshop. And let's see if we can find this thing. So I've got the original deal. That's what I wanted to show it to you. These are the original Steam Workshop mods. I guess as far as I pulled that out from my Steam Workshop mods before you yanked it. There, Ghoulish Man. So I think this one was the... This one still says Bolt. That might have been part of a problem too. Alright. Which one was it that was the 300 SL? That's what there's the Mercedes right here. So here's the SL. This is the original one. I was able to get this one to work because I renamed it on my end. This number. So I want to see if this new upload is a different number. Should be. Alright, so that's what I want to compare. So it's this guy right there. So I also had that C3 Corvette with the Viper engine. That's that other one there. So this one here I want to see if it's a different number. So let's see if we can find this. See if you got a name the same. How do we got it named there? I'm gonna try 300 SL. Another thing I can do is go down. Oops, hold on. Hold on. And where is that for? I always forget that. Most popular recent. That's should be in here, right? Should be in the recent. So why am I not seeing that? This. Alright, then what we got here? This recent. Why am I not seeing this? There's the Monte. I got some cool stuff in here I haven't seen. Thanks. Why am I not seeing? This is on most recent. That stuff is. Okay, and we gotta put 300 so. This is not showing up for me. Okay, so what's this? Right, that's why I changed it. Well, I'm not getting this to show up for me. I kept putting it on most recent. Interesting. Alright, let's see if we can go back this. See if it shows up this way. Well, that's cool. 89 Porsche 944. Eat. Let's go down this way. Most recent. Yeah, for some reason that is not showing up for me. See if we can refresh here. Recent. Why are we not showing up here? 300 SL. Okay, there's that one. This one's done by OT. That old timer in here, I guess, as far as there's this one. What did he do? Ooh, look at that. That's pretty slick looking. What does he got on the front? Oh, that's a license plate. That's got like a diffuser. This is a bonus part for the foot scoop. Don't know if I really like that on the front end there, like that. Pretty slick looking. So that's obviously not ghoulish, man. You may have to restart Steam. I did prior to start a stream, so. But yeah, if you just did it, it's very possible. Yeah, but this is definitely not showing. So this was one of the 300 SLs that was released as a separate download, I guess, as far as I'm assuming this was prior to the DLC from 23. Anyway, so I'm gonna try and restart Steam. See what happens. Do. Exit out of that. I'm gonna restart that. See what happens here. Should be showing up. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, pull that up. Go to live ballot. Yeah, I gotta update that. I'll do that later. Go to workshop. Okay. Let's do recent. Got a 86 Dodge Omni. So I'm not showing up in there. Let's try a 300 SL. This is after restarting Steam. There it is. That's what we remember. There it be. Okay, we found it. So it did require to restart Steam. So it does require the Dodge Ram, which we do have. That's for the 392 Hemi. Need the Mercedes and also Dodge. Yeah, so we have all those DLCs, so we should be good. Go ahead and subscribe. Kind of curious to see if this applies a different number. Okay, so we are subscribed. Close that out. I'm gonna go to my workshop mods. Car mechanics, so that should be for today, which is right here. And it does apply a different number. 67. So the previous number was 365. It starts with a 367 now, so it does apply a different number. Well, these I don't need anymore. That's what I wanted to confirm. This is a new one in here. So I'm gonna go into the editor, and I'm gonna confirm that these do load. I know you already did that there, Jackdaw, but I'm just gonna humor myself as well as everybody else here. Very much appreciated for confirming that. Let's go to... yeah, let's relaunch Steam. Actually, I can do it this way. Let's go into Car Mechanic, and we're going to launch the editor. Straight up into the editor. So like I've been saying, I guess, as far as in order to check either my own mods or other configs, I'll load it up in here first before I you know, try to get it to spawn in the game itself. This way I know that it does work. So obviously our Gen 2 works. So if we go into here, so what you've mentioned there, Jackdaw, is it is under DLC for the Mercedes. So if we go here, so for me, when I edited on my end, just to reconfirm here, what it was doing, and obviously I've got that pulled out of here, was it was putting it as a mod down here with the Steam Workshop number that it assigns to it down here on the bottom. That's what it was doing for me. So I've obviously got that pulled out, and that's not listed in here. So what we got to do, go up here to Mercedes. Oh, I passed it. So it should be right in here, and that should be an option for, and there's the number. So this is what we just subscribed to right there. So it does load. That is confirmed, 100%. So there it is. So that mod is that submission, I guess, as far as my Ghoulish Man, is 100% good to go. Now this one has a 392 Hemi in it, right? Trying to confirm that. Look at that. Pretty solid. Not too shabby at all. Yo, what's going on there, farmer guy? Just because I said it there,
It ain't got no gas in it.
No one can see it's there. Well, we just confirmed it here, Jackdog, as far as it is. Cause this is what I'm trying to do to the Gen 2 Camaro, as far as to get that nice in line here like this. So it doesn't have any gas in it yet there, farmer guy, but we're working on it. Yeah, so we've got it 100% confirmed. It does load here in the editors, which means it should load in the game. Yeah, this looks really good. I think you did pretty well on this one here, Ghoulish. So this one looks like it does have a full-on frame. Yep. You can cross member and all that. Obviously, you're not going to get it perfect, I guess, as far as for parts not to clip. I mean, there's a lot of default cars that do this type of thing too. A lot of the underbody and such. But yeah, this is definitely something that we're trying to do on our Gen 2 Camaro to get the tunnel, the transmission tunnel, I guess, as far as to line up and make it nice and clean. Very similar how the back end looks. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Solid deal. What do we got going on back here? What is this thing? I don't know what that is. So we got the fuse box and the battery in the trunk. Cool. Pretty timeless car. See, look at all the texture shows up in here for that. This is the way it should be showing on our Gen 2, and it doesn't do that. That makes me mad. I want to know what I'm doing wrong there. Anyway, so we have confirmed it does load. Good deal. If I get it lower, I have to take up the suspension. Why would you want it lower? Yeah, why would you want it lower? I think that sits pretty good. I mean, even the fender gap, I guess, as far as that's pretty solid. You got that pretty close to that fender lip, that's for sure. Not terrible. Is this the exhaust port? I think that's the original exhaust port. What is that? I know that's nothing you did there, Ghoulish, but I think that's just the design of the body. Interesting. Anyway, so we have confirmed that this one does load. Now let's go back to our game. Well, I would hope it's drivable. I would definitely hope it's drivable. The original exhaust is just a single one off the back, so I wonder what those holes are there. I never noticed that before. I'm sure they've always been there, just I never noticed it till now. Just never noticed it. First two gears, half gas. So you can't mat it to the floor is what you're saying. Alright, let's get this reloaded here. Alrighty then. So, Farmer Guy's probably... Are you off to work there, Farmer Guy? I know you got a probably busy day. Oh, you're talking about the exhaust being low. No, I think that's pretty decent. It's pretty, you know, with what you have to work with, I guess as far as that's pretty solid. Third gear, you can go full throttle. So that's probably assuming too that you don't have a performance gearbox. Most of the time I fix those issues, I guess, as far as with first and second gear, just being super yucky. I guess as far as I just put the performance transmission into it. Usually what I'll do. Alright, we are back here. We got an engine to put back together. Nice, we got that confirmed there for Ghoulishman, I guess, as far as with the Mercedes 300 SL. I assume if you did do the other upload, I guess as far as that's where it works as well. Alright, let's get this put together. So we got to get some new pistons and rings. Pistons. Ain't new under these. And don't forget to put the rings on it. Why would you want bigger tires or lower? As far as you mentioned the two things there. I think it looks pretty good like that. I wouldn't want to put anything bigger than that. Unless you're talking about widths as opposed to height, like the wheel profile. Yeah, if you're mentioning 205, 185, that would be the width. Yeah, I don't think you'd want to put... Oh, shoot, did I get the wrong... I got the wrong stinking... Gosh, darn it. Yeah, so this... Got the wrong rings. Hold on, gotta fix that problem. Yeah, we got the wrong rings. Oops. Okay, let's sell these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. We gotta get some different rings here. Go to the store. Let's try that again. So we need these right here. Lesson learned on that. Gotta put the right rings on it. With bigger tires, with for traction, they came out of the fender. Yeah, I wouldn't want to put them wider. No. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to put them wider than what you got. Now you can change also the track on it. I guess as far as the rear and front track. So if you wanted to put wider tires on, you would have to suck in the front end and the rear end. You know, as far as side to side. But if that didn't look right either, I guess as far as that would stand a reason not to do that. A lot of things to balance out as far as what looks good. I know I'm going to have to do some adjustments to... in fact, I don't know if I did show that or not. So it is loading up the new compilation, I guess, as far as over. What it should show... Whoops. It should show... Here. No. Can't get a good look at that. There should be the frame. Yeah, you can see the black line right on the bottom of the firewall. That is the new frame that we created for this. But what it doesn't allow me to show... Damn it! On here. Can I jump up on here? Oh. Crap. I was hoping maybe it could show you. It's probably easier to look at it in the editor, but the subframe does not line up, and I'm coming to find there are some misalignments with how you set that track on the suspension and how you can get your custom frame, I guess, as far as to line up. So yeah, in an effort to, I guess, as far as to get mine lined up properly, obviously there's going to be some trial and error with that. From what I do have in there, I guess, as far as it is where I want the subframe to be, I guess. So it may come down to me having to adjust the subframe, which you can't do that separately. It's like the whole track of the car from side to side, so I'd have to probably move the front end out and change the size of the tires accordingly, I guess, as far as to get that to balance properly. Yeah, it's going to be a pain in the butt, but we're going to try and get that done. Alright, let's do the bottom end of this engine. I know I tend to be jumping around all over the place, but it's like there's just so much going on. I'm in that mode, I guess, as far as of wanting to get something out there, I guess, as far as before CMS 26 comes out. Because two reasons. I guess obviously you just want to have it done, not get put on the back burner, I guess, as far as and be focused on the new rendition of the game, but also I want to have something done so that if it is going to be easily portable into the new car mechanic, I want to have that done. If I don't have two different projects going on for two different game renditions. So that's kind of what I'm struggling with there. I want to get something done and presentable. I think the biggest thing, besides getting stuff like the frame in there, is just getting those interior textures, I guess, as far as signed properly. Make sure they show correctly. That's my biggest hurdle, I think, right now. Okay, let's get a new flywheel. Hopefully we gave some folks, I guess, as far as some insight about new stuff that you can acquire on the Steam Workshop. You got that fixed up there, I guess, as far as for Well, Ghoulish did most of the heavy lifting, but we tested it out just to make sure it does work. Sometimes it's helpful, I guess, as far as to be able to know that it does work properly. I've gotten a lot of help myself, so I don't mind helping out others with the same issue. We got Jono coming in, trying to get the snowball fight going. How we doing there, Jono? We're building this OHVSS for our Monte Carlo. Get this refurbished. Well, it's a 2-carb. Very unique, I guess, as far especially on the heads and the exhaust manifolds. That's good to hear there, Jono. Yeah, it's been a typical Monday, I think. I guess as far as just a lot of crazy things happening. A lot going on. So one of those types of things where, you know, you feel like you just don't have enough time to do all the stuff. Well, was this repaired? No. So we got a new cam. Get ourselves a new cam. So we can build our valve train. I didn't do it. Brent must have found the slippery spot. Haven't heard anything more from Farmer Guy, I guess, as far as hopefully Farmer Guy's off to start his day. We did some out of ore in the off stream, I guess, as far as with Farmer Guy, I guess, as far as you had out of ore going there. We had some fun in there yesterday on his stream. Oh no! That's a bad gamble, if I ever saw one. Jackdaw trying to luck. That didn't work. Yeah, we did get some more snow. Actually, there, Brent. We did get some actual snow. I guess as far as out there, not a lot. It's enough to remind us, I guess, as far as it's still winter. You know, it wasn't anything to write home about, but we got enough. There's been enough. I feel inclined, I guess, as far as I need to try this button anyway. I've been screwing around with this here. Will that work? It does work. Sweet! We got 12 of you in here. Y'all get some free fluids, I guess, as far as just for being here and being awesome. We need to rebuild our valve train. And let's get 16. Get a mechanics dozen of those. Yeah, buddy. Get those in there. Shower's done. Getting ready to go. How are you today? What do we got planned today there, Farm Guy? You got time to mention? A busy day? A lot of jobs? Yeah, like I was saying, it's definitely been a typical Monday. There's a lot going on. Almost too much going on, I guess, as far as make your head spin sometimes. But, we're working through it. How to build full halls of furniture? Huh? You asking or are you telling me? You get to build a full house of furniture? So I guess you have to build a full house of furniture? Is that what you're trying to say? Are you having Siri talk for you again? Yeah, so if I understand you correctly there, Farming Guy, you got to go to a house, got a whole house of furniture to build. For like every room? Bedroom and all that? I think if I'm understanding that right. That sounds like a pretty busy day. If that's the case. So I got a brake job to do on a 2001 Chevy S10. I got to look into that, I guess, as far as. So I got to get new calipers. Got to get new calipers, rotors, pads, all that. The whole shebang for it. That's gonna be fun. I'll be doing that tomorrow, in the morning. Oh, that's a good gamble there, Brent. I guess the bot's coming. It's getting on the better side. See, Brent hasn't forgot. You got to sometimes bribe the bot. Sometimes bribes. Yeah. Top of that too. Cheers. Whatever happens to be your favorite beverage. I currently have. I got a pink lemonade Snapple. I'm hoping maybe by drinking more of these, I guess as far as it'll kind of encourage the warm weather to come back around. Maybe. Okay, I forgot this. Got the dual carbs. Oh, it even has the linkage in there between the two. That's pretty cool. I didn't notice that. Got the linkage in there for the 2 carbs. Okay, so is this repaired? Yeah. Need a new air filter. Alright. Cover, yep, that's all repairable. Nice. He's nice now. Alright, let's get a new oil filter. Cheers, you got a coffee? Yeah, like I said, whatever happens to be your favorite beverage at the moment. Doesn't have to be of the alcoholic nature. So I've got to get that electronic stores, right? Get a new filter. Fuel filter. Yeah, we'll go to the electronic store for that. Oh, of course. Okay, let's go there and grab that. I think we got most of all the other parts done. Yeah, we haven't done one of these in a while, so we need that's repaired. Distributor cap should be good to go, and our clips good to go. Don't forget those clips. It will disallow you from being able to run the engine. Put that on there. I don't know. Has anybody ever had? I've had it happen a few times. I can probably count them on one hand. Where you don't put the clips on the distributor cap, and you go to try to start the engine, and the rotor goes flying off because the cam gear gets spinning and all that stuff. I've had it happen. Where the rotor will just fly right off. I guess as far as because you don't have it clipped down properly. It does happen. So I guess that's why they have it in the game like that. I guess as far as to make sure that's securely on there. Who's late? That Dark coming in late.
What kind of car trouble?
I believe it was radiator.
Daggone radiator. So how's it going there today, Dart? Hope your day's going well. I know you had some tests going on, right? Last time we talked there on Saturday, you said you had some tests coming up for the CDL stuff. Some new belts on here. Oh, that's a bad gamble. So we went from bad gamble, good gamble, and we're back to bad gamble. Damn. Exclamation point top, we'll give you that. That's what you're looking for. I think it got shuffled up there because I think Jackdaw went all in and lost everything. So I might have shuffled it up there a little bit. We're running out of days here, folks. I guess as far as we only got this week. By the end of this week, I guess as far as we'll be at the end of the month. This month went by fast. This is one of the shorter months that we have. So I think we got everything done. So there's front end, bottom end, top end. Oh, we forgot sparkulators. Yep. Sparkulators and wires. Okay, let's get those. Can't forget the sparkulators. So we need 8 new ones of these. And some wires. We'll get these in here first. Your test ain't till Friday, good sir? Okay, I just remember you said you had a test. I forgot when. So, sue me. No, don't do that. I can't afford that. I thought I would get brownie points for at least remembering you had a test. Right, so we need some wires. Excuse me, there we go. Get some new wires. Cool, now we should be done with it. Ooh, now before we take that off there, we're going to fix up the front end on this car. Give it a nice new home to sit in. Yeah, there's those top points. So as it stands right now, we got some new folks up in there. Racer Batman in first. We got Farmer Guy holding on in second. Brent's in third. Jagaron, I guess as far as is in fourth. That's somebody new. And Smoonalini holding on in that fifth spot. So for the last couple of months, I guess as far as I've noticed, Smoonalini holding on to that fifth spot. Nobody gonna contest, I guess, as far as Smoonalini. Alright, let's get this front end taken apart. I think this is going to be, overall, one of my favorite trims of this Monte. Going to be this SS. Mainly for the interior design, I guess, as far as got the console with the bucket seats. I like it. I'm a big fan of the bucket seats in the front, as opposed to a bench. Especially having a center console. So just about all the other trims of the Monte that we've seen, it has a front bench seat. No console, of course. Get that shock assembly out. Get that taken apart. We'll get that all replaced. Pretty good shape for the most part, but obviously it's not 100%. So we're gonna get that all 100%. That's the approach we like to take. Subframe out of here. I didn't know if Interstate came back or not. I know it stepped away. We were talking about different types of tires, or wheels in particular. These being a different version of the slotted when we have in our Gen 2. What I like even more so, I guess, as far as in these rally wheels, are what they call the slotted D. So it's the D shape, so it's kind of like a NASCAR style. Well, the old NASCAR style, I guess, as far as... I can't say the new cup tires, right? So it'd be the traditional NASCAR style rims. I like those style. I don't think they have those in this game, as far as I know. I've seen like the triangle pattern, but not the D pattern. Of course, I haven't really looked at the rims. Honestly, there's a lot of rims. A lot of different rims. Get this one all nice and cleaned up. And subframe. Cool, that is all repairable. Awesome, so sorry, let's get her done. Let's get these taken apart while we're at it. We got some rotors we can machine. I think our battery's done too. I think it's been done. Yep. Get that back in. Okay, cool. Get our rotors machined. And let's fix up some parts over here. We do got that double wishbone suspension onto that. Of course, with the subframes, that means 12 rotor bushings for that setup. Making mental notes as far as what we're going to need for this refurbishment. Okay, bye-bye. Have fun doing all that furniture for the whole house. Appreciate it, the farmer guy. Hopefully you have a good day. Yeah, for those of you that haven't tuned into Farmer Guy, I know it's usually late for most of us here in the U.S., but it'd be, you know, roughly 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern, I guess, as far as we've been getting on with Farmer Guy, I guess, as far as doing some out of war. Last couple of times, I guess, as far as... If you're looking for something to watch, I guess, as far as on your Sunday, late Sunday, I guess, as far as feel free to tune into that. Been having a lot of fun there in out of order. So we're gonna need... Go back to this store. We need some rubber bushings. All of these. Whoops. We'll need some brake pads. We're fixing up those rotors. So let's get 2 new pads. We need some tie rod stuff. Whoop, we need 2 of those. Come on now. We're going to need some wheel bearings. And this is for the front, so we're going to need the caps for those as well. Cool, we got the majority of everything we need. Ooh, let's get this front end back together. So yeah, this really gives you a look, I guess, as far as of that frame. Now, the fact that it does have the subframe, the in-game subframe to it, I feel like if this were a true G body, you wouldn't have the 2 frames. So that's why I'm taking the approach that I am with this one. So if you want to make this a true G body, you need to line this frame up that you've designed for the car to the subframe. Okay, so there comes the in-game parts. That's the true way you should do that. Not to have the 2 separate frames, frame rails. So whether or not that'll get fixed on this car, that's still yet to be seen. I doubt it. Based on what I've discussed, I guess, as far as with the creator of this. I don't think they're that specific on things. That's their choice. But if it was me, I would want to do that correctly. Okay, brand new bushings. So we still need to get all the stuff for our shock assemblies. So like this, we'll get some of those. Those put together. Two of these, got one for each side. Of course, you all knew that. I know you all knew that. Join them. What's going on there, Darian? Alright, so we got those together. Let's put this all back in there. Well, that's all refurbished. Got rotors are remachined. New bearings. Pack that full of grease and cap that off. New pads. Calipers are refurbished. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Steering rack should be refurbished. Got all the new tie rod stuff. Gonna need some new sway bar end links. Get that sway bar in there first. So we need a new sway bar. Cleaning up pretty nicely. Okay, a new sway bar end links. We'll get 2 of those, one for either end. Eye on all that steering. There we go. Do. Hello! Are you yelling at me? Felt like that was with that was a hello with some authority. I fight authority, authority always wins. Got that song in my head now. John Cougar Mellencamp, I gotta love him. I fight authority, authority always wins. I've been doing it since. You know the song. Y'all know the song. I won't sing it for you. You're on your laptop typing? Nice. Not playing any games? Just chilling on the laptop. So it's all refurbished. New bearing. Back up full of grease, cap it off. That would be a nice other thing to be added to this game. The next rendition is being able to grease. So putting the grease, I guess, as far as properly in the wheel bearings. Maybe even to have some Zerks, I guess, as far as to be able to lube up the joints. That'd be cool. I'd be all for that. Pin links. Alright, so that is... Wait a minute, what did we miss on it? Oh, the upper control arm, that's right. Should be allowing me to put the tire on. We'll deal with those tires next. Oop, there we go. Marvelous. Alright, let's get these tires taken apart. Gotta keep them separated. We'll obviously get some new tires. The rim should be repairable. Oh, no, don't do that. Gotta keep it separated. Playing something on Roblox? Nice. Get her done. Fix the rims up. Gotta look and see if they're staggered. Front to back, or are they all the same size? Let's see what we got here. We are the same all the way around. Okay, so that means tires wise, you can get the same here. 65, 15. 65, 15. Alright. So let's go like this. Whoop. Go to tires. 4 new ones of these. Go to the tire shop. 225, 65, 50. 15 inch. 4 of them. 225, 65 on the sidewall. There we go. Pretty cheap, actually. Very inexpensive. Darian trying to get that snowball fight. I'll get in on that action. We got a little bit of snow. Probably not a whole lot, you know, to be able to make snowballs, but in reality. Alright, let's get these put together. Some brand new rubbers to put on them. And Jonah will coming out of the woodwork. Yeah, we got a good snowball fight going now. I'll get on that action. See if we can get a good snowball fight going. We got... Who slipped and fell? That was Brent again. Brent, put some kitty litter down or something. Maybe where's the slippery spot? We gotta put some kitty litter down or something. Slipping and falling. I'm trying to run a safe shop over here. Whoop, missed it. There we go. Quit throwing snow. Am I gonna get hurt? Oh, is that what it is? You're slipping on the snow? Okay, so I guess I gotta put gotta shovel the snow. Sorry about that. Right on. We got anybody else gonna join on the snowball fight? I'll get on this action. Gotta pack it up there. I gotta scrape it off of the ground, and we don't have a whole lot to work with there. Alright, let's get these on the front. I mean, I can only do so much, I guess. The first one. I mean, if it's snowing outside, I guess the first not much you can do about it. Alrighty then, so our front end's pretty much done there. We got some preliminaries to do in the engine bay. Okay, let's get our preliminaries done here in the engine bay. So we need a new one of these. Back to this store. Bug juice container. cherry juice container. Battery, we already got that off the charger. Cool. Fuse box. Got some new fuse and relays. Get about the little guys. There we go. Go to the electronic shop to get all those. Few of these. Few of these. One of those. A little bit of everything. Few of these. Few of those. That's the little guys. And one of those. Like I said, a little bit of everything. Put our cover on, that's good for that. So our servo, got that refurbished. Alrighty then. You know what? I don't think I took the radiator out. Need to drain this guy. I forgot to do that. Wait, what? Hold on. No. Why is it going into that one? Bro, what is going on here? Why don't want to give me that? Excuse me. There we go. Okay, it's just the wrong thing. Good grief, you think it was my first time playing. Get that drained out. Gotta fix this radiator up, yeah. There we go. Get that over to the 100%. Smack it a couple times, get that good to go. Put her back in. Alrighty then. I think we're done with the preliminaries. We should be able to get that engine in there. It's got a nice new home, what a restored engine into. Get our crane back over there. Slap her in. 100% green bill. There you go. Ta-da! She's in there. That out of the way. Let's button up her bottom end. Yeah, we definitely need to consider a color we want to put on this thing. Refurbish the transmission. Obviously, I'm going to leave the drive shaft off. We still got the rear end to work on. Let's get all new exhaust. Go back to this store for all that. 2 of these. 2 of those. Right on. Starter, don't forget to put that on. Alright, let's get the rest of the exhaust. We'll get the turbo resonators out. And straight pipe. Probably sounds so good. Just so. Right, so let's get our new... No catalytic converters on this guy. Turbo resonators. As I like to call them. Oops. Go to the store, grab a couple of those. And I think I'm going to leave out rear mufflers for now so we can work on the rear end. Yeah. All the drive shaft. Okay, let's get this rear end done. Drums on her. Got the drums on the rear. Now, on our drag there, as far as we got the 4-wheel discs on that one. Got a little bit more of the modern rear end with the disc brakes. Just for comparison's sake. Not very many rusty parts on this thing here, too. Got a few, but not a ton. Be able to remachine those drums. Good deal. Whoop. Oh, we gotta unstrap it from the axle housing. Yep. We know the drill. We know the drill. Shocks, we'll have to get new ones of those. Those are not repairable. Oop, we gotta get the knuckle off first, and our rear end. Ta-da! Let's go get these refurbished. Yeah, see, this is, look how clean that looks. That is so nice. But we've got our Gen 2, I guess, as far as similar to this. You know, as far as having the frame that goes up around over the rear end. You have the subframe, I guess, as far as into that like that. But yeah, they got it pretty much the rest of the frame kind of tucked into the underbody. So if they were trying to truly mimic, I guess, as far as this being a G body, it wouldn't be done correctly. We'd have to bring this down so that side rails would show more, I guess, as far as under the car. But this is really clean. This is giving me a lot of information to do redo the Gen 2, I guess, as far as in a similar fashion. Solid. Alright, let's get this rear end stuff fixed up. We got some drums we can machine. I think what would make this Monte Carlo look even better, just as far as if it had proper subframe in the front, you know, kind of line up. That's what we're trying to do in our Gen 2 as well. I mean, I kind of strive for that type of perfection, especially when I know it is possible. It's definitely possible. You just got to take your time with it. Don't rush it. Good things are never rushed. Good things come to those who wait. Just like we're waiting for the demo, I guess, as far as for CMS 26 to come out, which should be right around the corner. I had forecasted, I guess, as far as just based on the way the devs have been talking anyway, what they've been working on. I'm thinking we'll probably see it the first part of March. So once the end of February comes here, I guess, as far as it should be right around the corner. Right around the corner. Right, so oh, we got the other drum in there to machine. Get that done, and then the only other thing we need is 2 rubber bushings for that control arm. As far as I can think of. Yeah? Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Go here. Here. 2 regular rubber bushings. And I think, yeah, now that I think of it too, I'm gonna need spring caps and springs. Yeah, we'll get those as we need them. Obviously, we'll have to redo the fuel tank, so these should be good to go. Just the top caps we got to redo. The new springs, those are not repairable. Couple of new top caps. Alright, let's get that knuckle on there. Yeah, so here's another thing that does kind of bug me too, the fact that the exhaust is kind of clipping through that. That's easily fixable, I guess, as far as in the editor. Kind of drop that down a little bit. It's either raise the rear end up or bring that down, one of the two, or a combination of the two. So it's just little things like that, I guess, first kind of bug me. Yeah. So between that back seat and that going on there, I guess, as far as definitely quite a bit correctable. Very correctable. So shoes, those are repaired. Get our drums, those are remachined. Nice. So let's get our control arm. That strap back onto the axle housing. Ooh, and let's get that new rubber bushing in there. Ta-da! So there's that side. Get this side. Okay, backing plate. Drive axle. Cylinder. Shoes. Refurbished. Got our remachined drum. Oh, get this control arm back on there. Don't want to put the tire on it just yet. We got to refurbish that rim anyway. Plus, it puts the load on the rear suspension there. We don't want to do that yet before putting the control arm on. Ooh. And springs. We got new ones. Cap it off. Drive shaft can go back on. Rear ends. Oh, so here's another thing that's wrong. So our drive shaft does not. We gotta change the pitch of that. This is a no-no. Oh man. So I have to put that out. Word to the wise, I guess, as far as out there, we got the drive shaft does not line up with the rear end. This is the SS trim. Definitely correctable. As far as you can just readjust the drive shaft on that, I guess, as far as to get that to line up better. Alright, let's get this fuel tank out of here. I mean, it doesn't impede, I guess, as far as the functionality of it. It's just aesthetics, for sure. But that's definitely, like I've said, I guess, as far as if it's correctable, you should fix it. Don't leave it like that. That's just lazy. So this we can repair. Get that done. Excuse me there, locker. I didn't mean to get in your way. Up the fuel pump. Slap that back in with our new tank. You're welcome. And we can finish up this exhaust that is clipping through our rear end. Hello? Bro, there we go. Get two new ones of those. Finish off our rear exhaust. There we go. There's that. Let's get these tires taken apart. Get those fixed up. We already got the tires themselves. Whoops. We already got those purchased, so we just gotta fix up the rims. Gotta keep them separated. Yeah, she's cleaning up nice. So does anybody have any, have you given any thought, I guess, as far as in what color? Besides white? Feel free to share, I guess, as far as if you have any, preferences. Maybe put it up for a vote. Okay, rims are... So we already got the tires. Got the new tires. Let's put those together. Standing here twiddling my thumbs, I could be balancing this guy. Gotta have the balance. Okay, so we can put those back on the rear end. No preferences, okay. I'm gonna play around in the paint booth to see what color go with that on there. I got a pretty good idea what car I want to try and mimic this to. We did apply this to, I think, to our Chevelle, which would be the Wildcat or the Hellcat. I think we have a version of that. So how we doing? Parts, ants. I did take that engine cover off too. It's like, why did that go down? Parts. Let's see what I got here for parts. So what are we missing yet? What is not 100%? Oh, got those rear shocks. I missed a bushing. Okay, so that must be on that one control arm. Why'd I put that in there? Oh, sure didn't. Get that bushing in there. Then we gotta get some new rear shocks. Gotcha. 2 new rear shocks. Okay, where you at? There you are. Over here. Okay, now how are we doing? There we go, 100% on the parts. So, yeah, I gotta put that engine cover back on. I don't know if does that cover up the radiator. I don't remember. See if that does. I think it does cover up the radiator. So I think before we put that on there, we're gonna fill it up with some coolant. Do that. Then we can put that engine cover on. That should be good. Get this back off. Yeah, that does cover that up. That's kind of slick. I like that way that looks. Even got the stickers on there, I guess, as far as... Can't really tell what they say, but they're on there. So let's go ahead and fill up some fluids on this. Cherry juice. Ready to get this thing dynoed. Okay, so we need motor honey into her. Fresh engine rebuild. Thirsty girl. Okay, let's make sure we got adequate motor honey. That's looking nice and golden brown. That's good. Get some brake juice into here. Just in the max line. Go. So we need bug juice in this container, and I think that's all the juices. I believe that's all the juices. Marvelous. Okay, let's get her down on the ground. Okay, so let's do... Need to get some alignments done, so let's go over to that. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to double check just to make sure. Yep, so we put that engine cover back on there. Radiator shroud, I guess as far as that's just the plates. Put on it yet. Let's get some alignments to it. Oh, whoa, this is way out of whack. Pretty shade of red. Let's make her green. There we go. Headlights while we're at it. Beautiful. Well, these weren't too far to whack at all. Perfect. Wait, so we got all the alignments done. Now we're to the point where we need to see if we can get all 347 horsepower out of this deal. To be able to do that, we got it all 100% green build. Get it on over to the dyno. And for most of you that know, I guess as far as when we get them into the dyno, it gets a little noisy in here. So if you got the volumes turned up, got the earbuds in there, watch your ears. See if you get all this base horsepower. Nice. Class C, all that base horsepower. She got a nice idle to it, that's for sure. I like the idle to that. Sounds wicked. So yeah, we need to paint this guy. Get this over to the paint booth, and we try out some colors. So one thing I did want to try out, I want to pull out one of our Hellcats that we have a similar color. Let's go into our parking garage. So I do still have the standard. Might get to that one too. Well, that one has similar to the type of color I want. Actually, is this color right here. Maybe I'll pull this one out. Move that in the garage. Oh, come on now, don't be like that. I got an empty lift here. What are you talking about? Seriously? Let's try that again. That's just silly. Alright, let's do it this way then. Every once in a while they'll do that to us. We'll put this in here. Leave that spot open, and then we'll get that money out. And we'll just swap them back. Silly game. What is going on with this crap? Seriously? Alright. Well, you want to be stubborn that way, I see. I'll put him back over here. I might have to save this up and come back in. It's been a while since it's done that crap. Alright, so let's go ahead and save this. And we're going to go back to the main menu. Already saved it, so we're good. We're just going to reload it back up. Game being a little silly. Fix this little red wagon. Alright, hopefully this will fix the issue, I guess, as far as getting that car out of the parking. One way to find out, right? Alright, so let's do that. Parking and bullets. You dirty, rotten thing, you. Alright, we're gonna have to get completely out of the game. Goofy son of a gun. Alright, let's get completely out of the game. I don't know why that's doing that. That's been a while since that's ever happened. We'll exit right out. So hold, please. Get this reloaded here in a second. Alright, we're loading back up. Not really sure why it's being silly like that, but we're gonna fix the little red wagon. Alright, this fix our issue now? Why doing that in the first place? We already had gone out of the game, I guess, as far as once, I guess, as far as to go to the Steam Workshop, so. Alright, let's see if this allows us to bring this out now. You freaking kidding me right now? What is going on with this garbage? Why does it not put it in this spot? That is strange. Alright, let me try something here. So I'm gonna take this out of the paint booth. I don't know if it doesn't like it in here. Let's go back to here. That is super silly. So let's put this into the parking. See if we can bring out... Was it something to do with that car being in the paint booth? That is so strange. I don't remember that ever being an issue, so let's pull out this guy. Okay, whatever. So yeah, this is the color I wanted to go with, actually. Uh-huh. Kind of that brownish gold, kind of like a champagne. So what we're going to do, I'm going to pull this off of here. Excuse me. Yep, I'm going to get that color on the swath. That's what color we'll paint the other dude. Paint this part. Where's that fender at? This guy. That current color, hell yeah. Let's paint it. That'll at least get it into our paint swab. Cool. Alright, let's put that back on that car. So yeah, it must have been something with having that car in the paint booth. I didn't like me being able to take this one out of parking. Weird. Okay, so this is probably another one we'll work on. This one has the OHV, so we have this engine already built. That'll save us a little bit of time for building that one. Okay, so let's put this back in the parking for now. Now we got that in the swath. And let's pull back out our SS. Which is gonna be this fella. Nice. Okay, let's get this back over to the paint booth and try this again, shall we? Paint booth. Oh no, I did that wrong. Damn it. Come back out. Paint booth, there we go. I saw the P and it just clicked with me as far as P for paint booth. Nope, that's not how that works. Alright, let's get this painted. So we got the color in the swath right there. Ooh, so nice. That actually goes really good with it as far as the black vinyl top. Alright, let's go ahead and paint it. We had no recommendations, I guess, as far as that's what we're gonna go with. Ooh. There she is. And she should be 100% with the exception of the plates. So we did get her dynoed. I guess we need to take it over to the strip and see how she does. We'll try her out at the strip. Let's see what she can do. If my controller's gonna work on me. Stop, player. Thank you. Alright, quarter mile. We get to go against Jaguar XJS. No tuning. Interesting matchup. Alright, let's go ahead and try it out. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's got a nice idle to it. I like it. Mean idle. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Got my button wrong, okay. That was just a misshift on my part. Seems pretty legit, because as far as the synchronization of the gears. Okay, let's try another one. Ooh, we got a big boat Cadillac Eldorado. We should be able to beat that guy, I guess, because it's so heavy. So heavy. Ooh, that second gear though. Alright, so we got about a, I don't know, not quite a 14.5 second car. All stock, no performance parts. Do one more. Ooh, that's a nice one. 440. 6-pack in that Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Right lane this time. I don't know what that was all about. I might have to try this one again. That buttons are all kind of screwed up. Yeah, buttons are all kind of screwed up there. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one again. Try that one again. Make sure. I think that 440 might beat us. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, the 440 I think has got us. Confirmed. Yeah, I think if we can put the performance gearbox into this guy, I guess, if it's kind of smooth out the gears, it'll probably help. Alright, so at least we know what we have here. In the stock Persuasion. So let's head back to the house. And we'll fix that up. I think we ended up putting the performance gearbox in the other Monte too, from what I remember. Alrighty then, so we need to get this up on the lift. I think I did put performance gearbox onto this guy too. Did we? Or did we not? No, actually not this one. Nope, so that one we didn't have to. So this one being the OHV, so far it's proclaiming, I guess, as far as to be able to put a performance gearbox into it so we can fine tune those gears. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's get this one out of here. Bro. Okay, so let's get ourselves a performance gearbox. Let's go to here. And on the list, go to the gearbox store. Get one of those. Slap her in. You know, I get so tired of you. Scoot me to the rear. What are you doing? There you go. Be nice. Bro. There we go. Nice and cleaned up there. Let's go ahead and get this back over to the dyno. And that color just pops on this car. Goes off little body lines, really nice. let's get this moved over to... I know. Okay, first thing we want to do is get these gears. Got a 3 in the rear gear. That's pretty tall. That's a cruising gear. First gear seemed fine. We want to float this out a little bit closer. Not so much of it. Let's do 3. About a 20 mile an hour. 20 mile spread, so that'll be 3 here, and we'll leave the fourth where it's at. Apply that, and let's get our dynode. Re-dynode. So we were like a 177. Yeah, and we're 177. Let's see what we got now. Up a couple points. 4 horsepower gain. 177 to 179. Solid. Alright, let's go check that out at the strip. Let's see what she does next. Hopefully we smoothed out that second gear. Alright, quarter mile. Ooh, that's a nice matchup. Same generation of cars, I guess, as far as Monte Carlo, the Gen 2 Camaro of our own. V8 1 carb. We got that little bit of tuning, I guess, as far as with that performance transmission. See what we can do. Oh yeah, that's nice. Really tall in that fourth gear. Just fine. That's our cruising gear. 13.6, so we gained almost a whole second. Just by putting that performance, so we were like 14.3 or down to 13.6. It's a nice improvement. What about the Pinto? We should be able to smoke this thing. Having that inline 6. At least by the numbers, anyway. Nice smooth shift. Solid. Fourth might be considered a little bit tall, but I think the first 3 gears are the critical ones. Those are definitely the critical ones. Al, let's go against that dude. Let's just try it. We gotta humor ourselves. We got a nice hot rod here. Right on. We got a solid 13.5 second car. Mid-13s. Solid. Ooh, I'm happy with that result. That smoothed it out there. Now, if we did want to play around with that fourth gear, make it less tall, I guess as far as shifting into that, we could do that. I don't think I need to, quite honestly. We got the creepy guy in the... Oh, it's not going to show us that. I thought maybe it was going to show the creepy guy in the dyno. Okay, so I think we're pretty well good on this guy. Move him back over to this left. Now, I don't think I have a spot set up, I guess, as far... Man, look at the difference on the front end of this thing. Especially, I don't know if it's just that black bumper. It's got the blacked out rings on the tail. Yeah, that just looks wicked on this one. But for the most part, I think it's a toss-up between this one and that one being my favorite. I guess as far as... Probably if we could have this as a drag car in comparison, I guess as far as that would be kind of cool. Definitely something I might consider, I guess, as far as creating our own config on this one and making it more of a drag car. So to put this one in there, so we were able to get 787. This is the base horsepower, no performance parts on this guy. Kind of like that. Solid. Maybe even put the black trim on. I don't know yet. A lot of things we could probably do with that. So what we want to do is probably get that standard out. Do I want to put the fire rock away? I guess we could do that. So let's move this to parking. Don't remember if I got a spot this guy or not. Let's go to... I think I do, but I'm not 100% sure. No. So the alley that I use against the far from my Camaros, that's full. So I do still have the... yeah, I don't have this one in there at all. That's a bummer. Wish I had one more spot. Just be able to put all the Camaros in. So I guess for now, put this guy... Well, I see what I did. That's our custom Monte Carlo, and then this is the other version of this one, I guess, as far as that was. This is the edit that I did, and this is the original. That requires the police DLC. Yep, I'm going to put the guy in here for now. Let's pull this one out. Okay, and then we'll swap out, I guess, as far as our SS with this standard. We'll work on that one next. Sounds good to me. Alright, let's go ahead and move this one. We're going to swap it back out to there. Now, we didn't put the plates on this one yet, and that's okay. That's just going to keep body down to 90 instead of 100. That's okay. We're okay with that. So we do have an engine built for this already. I believe this one was also from the auction. So I think it might be just low on oil. Yep. So we're gonna see if she runs. Just topping her off with a little bit of oil. The way it worked on the SS anyway. That should be sufficient. Alright, let's see if we can get her to run. Yeah, this one's got the bench seat in it. Not as much my favorite with the bench seat. She's a runner. Nice. Just putting a little bit of oil in it, I guess, as far as it made it a runner. So this has got the poor man's wheel covers on it, as opposed to being a custom rim. So, alright, we've confirmed it does run. So, let's do some things onto this one. Good to go. So, weld the frame, fix up some body panels. We do have some things we gotta scrap after working on that SS. Make sure we didn't miss anything. So that was that one there. I'll probably just sell this. And I bought too many windows, okay. No problem. Let's make sure I didn't miss that window. Nope, I think we're good. I just bought too many. I think we're golden. Yep. So what we'll do is get this room welded. That all good to go. $1,000 you get that was standard welded. So it was an odd amount on an SS. It was like 1704 or something like that. Kind of an odd amount. Alright, so our frame should be welded. Get some body panels fixed up. I don't think we're missing any body panels. So We should be able to fix up everything that is here. Take out the winders, bumper, tail lights. I think these are all going to be repairable. Marvelous. Yep, so that's got the wipers included with the windshield. Cool. So, tail lights. Yeah, I'm not even seeing like any gaps or holes, I guess, as far as pretty solid on the underbody. So it could be argued, I guess, as far as you could put some back facing, I guess, as far as where the headlights go. Not really terrible that it's not there, but that would be kind of a nice feature to not have it hollow on the back side. Yeah. Okay, so this window. Really big trunk. Alright, let's get these parts fixed up that we can. So I didn't notice the engine cover. But check and see if it's got the engine cover on. That is considered a body part. Definitely considered a body part. Okay, so engine cover. Yep, let's get that off of there. Charge the battery. Bro, just pull it out. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll get that charged and we can fix up this engine cover. Slap that back in. Actually, I might leave that off for now. We are going to need to pull this engine out. Let's drain the radiator. Forgot to do that last time. We had to take the engine cover back off to get at that radiator. Okay. We know we'll be right around 86%, I think we said on the other car, without having an engine cover onto it. Put these refurbished body panels back on. Cleaned up pretty nice. Might have to repaint that hood, get as far as to match the rest of the car. Other than that, looking pretty solid. We do have the color already in the swath, I guess, as far as to paint that appropriately. I think I might actually do that. New winders. New windshield. Okay. Got new windows on this side. So does this only have a driver's side mirror? It does. Interesting. Driver's side mirror only. Little details. We should be 81% on the body. Okay, what else did we miss? Let's check our parts list. Here, Ben. This one's a little bit lower. Looks like when you got the engine cover off. Looks like. Put the engine cover back on just to see. Oops. Bro, that back on just to check it. So body is now 6. That's what I thought would be with it off. I will leave it on there for now, I guess. Battery. Rear window. I forgot that rear window. I was gonna say I must have forgot something. Yeah, the rear window. There we go. What did I miss? That would be it. There we go. Now that should get us to 90. Yep. Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna take that back off now we've got that confirmed. Not that way, you goofball. There we go. Take this back off. Marvelous. Okay, so we're gonna drain the oil and all that good stuff. Get that engine out there. We already got this engine built, so that'll save us a little bit of time. As far as putting a fresh engine in there. Move this over to here. Drain out that oil, so it's going to be pretty clean. Majority of the oil we put in there was pretty fresh. Oh. Alright, let's get this dismantled so we can get this out of here. So, how is the drive shaft on this guy? So this one's more lined up. So I'm guessing the way these configurations were done when you adjusted the rear end and the other configs, this was kept in the same spot. But when you adjust the rear end, I guess as far as the height and all that stuff, I guess as far as it made this out of whack the other trims. So this was the standard, obviously. This goes to prove, I guess, as far as that if you're going to adjust certain things like in suspension there, that you have to make sure all the other parts that post factory gets as far as they're still lined up. I don't think that was done on a lot of the trims of these. Why am I taking that all off? I mean, I'm gonna have to take it off eventually, but I didn't mean to take it out this way. Whoopsie. Got a little carried away. You need to take all this off, though. Okay, now that should allow us to yank the engine out. We'd like to look at this here. Yeah, we can see where that frame is at in comparison to the subframe. Obviously, that's not lined up. This is what we're trying to get lined up on our Gen 2, I guess, as far as to get this frame to line up with the subframe. That way it looks all uniform and tied in. We'll get it there eventually. We'll have time and patience. Let's get that engine out of there. Yank her out. He is out of there. Okay, let's get... Actually, we don't even need to put it on the stand. We can do some preliminaries here in the engine bay. We're going to fix up this front end. Yeah. Drain the coolants, all the fluids out. Fluids and juices. Drain it all out. Fix up the servos, get the fuse box out. Ooh, everything is out of there. So we're gonna pull out one of these OHV engines out of our warehouse. And one right here. Only one of those particular OHVs left. We got a 1 carb OHV. 2 carb. I'm gonna put the OHV. Okay. Confirm. Yep. Same engine in there. So yeah, we'll fix up the front end there, get as far as before we put that back in there. Get that done. Got like a Cadillac style rim, I guess, as far as on that. As far as a poor man's wheel cover. A lot of stuff in the yeller. I got a rusty bolt here and there. Nothing too serious. Really? So I gotta take this off first, okay. So they pretty much all got the same. Every trim has got the same type of suspension. But I think other than this one here having the 4-wheel disc brakes, gets as far as on it. Can't remember what the custom had as far as the size of the drag. Not what that had. So clean. Alright, we're gonna make it cleaner. Alright, let's get the rotors remachined. And a multitask. So yeah, I'm thinking for the SS, the 454 SS, I guess, as far as I would probably crate no config, maybe for drag. I do like to have the bucket seats with the center console. That's the main reason of choice for that. I think that would have been more suited, I guess, as far as to being a drag car, other than the one with the bench seat. Now, whether or not I would put that same engine as the drag that's been created by default, not sure if I would do that. I don't know if I would put this one in here or not. Wait, did I forget to put the fluids back in here? What's going on here? What in the world? I forgot to put the fluid. So we got oil in this thing? The world? What in the heck happened there? So why do I have no fluids in this thing? Did we not dyno this? I thought we did. I could have sworn we had this dynoed. Oh my. Okay, so okay. Go ahead and put some fluid in this then. I haven't done anything with the that's weird. That's super duper weird. So how in the world did all that come out of there? I was under the impression we did have this dyno. Interesting. Anyway, we'll get her fixed up. I don't know, maybe we did not do that. You know, we kind of jumped right into doing the SS. We did find the SS. I'll have to look back on that and see. I do remember, I somewhat recall, I guess, as far as we didn't get this dyno even tested out at the strip. Am I mistaken? Does anybody remember? So it is at 95%. Check our list here. Did we miss anything? Besides the plate? Just the plate, okay. This one only has the plate on the rear, apparently. Nice. Okay, it's fluent. Guess we're gonna have to get this one re-dynoed. Get a dyno on the record. So all the fluids are in there, so we gotta get some motor honey into it. Definitely one thing I'd want to do with making a drag with this, if we go with this engine, is I'd want to do the delete, I guess, as far as on the engine cover, as far as for the engine, radiator shroud. We don't need that for this type of engine. That's definitely one thing I want to make sure on that. Alright. So I guess what we'll do on this one real quick is get this over to the dyno and get this re-dynoed. Yep, so we don't have any performance gearbox on it. No performance parts to speak of on this one. Okay. Let's dyno it. Make it official. Skip at the end of that. What that was all about. Anyway, Class A 542 at the base. You get all that base horsepower out of it. Nice. Okay, so let's move this back over to lift to B. Or not to B. Alright, so this one's official. This one's good to go. Let's continue on this guy. So we got everything taken off of that, the front end. So we got some, take these apart. Got some rotors in the machine. You know, one thing I said I forgot to do, we gotta do some scrapping. What I'll do is I'll fix up what we got here and we're gonna do some scrapping. Oh, we already fixed all that up? Okay, so we're just caught up on that. Let's go back to here. Gotta double check on my inventory now. Yep, so we got those all cleaned up. We are gonna need 12 new rubber bushings. Let's do that. Or did I already do that too? No, I don't think I did. Yeah, let's go do some scrapping real. Got some things here to scrap. I meant to do that before I started working on this standard Monte. I got ahead of myself. What can I say? Oh, I was way early on that one. Give me all the baby bonuses, no whammies. Got a little bit of everything. Got a little bit of metal, rubber, plastic, every little flavor out here. Trying to unofficially get scrap points up to 100,000. We have not hit that. We have not hit that yet. We're probably a little bit more than 50% of hitting the big bonus. Not too shabby. As I say that I missed one. And there's another. A little too early. Damn it. That one. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping they don't remove or refine this. You know, maybe some refinements to this wrapping. But I'm hoping for the most part they kind of keep this unchanged. This is pretty satisfying. I'm not really sure how much you could better this, other than to maybe add more points. I guess as far as where you can get more points, I don't know. Something like that. Okay, so some of these other parts we can just sell them. Yeah, so we did not get the bearings, or bushings, I mean. So let's go ahead and get ourselves some new bushings. Go back to this store. Rubber bush. Oh, force of habit. So rubber bushings. Get 12 new ones of those. Okay. Then we need to get the parts, I guess, as far as to rebuild our shock assemblies. So we need shocks. That's a rear shock. Two of these. Two of those. No, hold on, I need a cap. I think I got two too many. Yep, got two too many of those. That's fine. So only need. We'll be able to get both those. Whoops, gotta go to the store first. Good grief, I'm getting sloppy. What is with me today? Two of those. Two of these. And two caps. Okay, slap those new ones together. Alright, so those are together. So we got all those done. So I need the tie rod stuff. Oops, that is not what I wanted. That was all. Okay, so tie rod. So we need 2 of these. 2 of these. I think that is all I can think of. We need some wheel bearings. Wheel bearings. And the caps for those. That is for the front end. Okay. We got everything put together, right? Yep. Good. Keep those apart so we can sell those off. Alright, let's get this front end put back together. Got some new bushings. Cool, so we need a new sway bar. Steering rack should be good. It's real refurbished. All the new tie rod stuff. And knuckle under first. Nice and clean. Okay, new end links. 2 new ones of those. Remachine rotors. Oh, we didn't get new pads. New pads. New pads. Reconditioned calipers. Get the new wheel bearings. Pack a full of grease, cap her off. That's our upper control arm. That's ready for tire. Let's get this other side. Brand new shock assembly. Upper control arm. New bushings. All the steering, back and plates, wheel hub, rotor remachined, new wheel bearing, pack that full of grease, cap it off, new pads, calipers refurbished, and ready for tire. Nice. Let's get these tires taken apart. So what kind of size tire we got on this one? 225 70/50. A little bit taller. Over 65/15, I guess, as far as on the SS. Okay, so let's get these pulled apart. We get 4 new tires. Well, it does have the white wall on it too. Okay, so let's go to the store. Tires. I need 4 new ones of these. Tire shop it is. So 225 70/15. 4 of them. 15-inch. 570. The thicker sidewall on that, probably due to the white wall. Go. Okay, let's get these rims fixed up. We'll put these New tires on refurbished rims. Must have the balance. And there we go. We can put those back on the front end. Now we got a nice new, brand new refurbished home for engine to sit into. Ta-da! So there's that. Get our engine in there. Let's get our crane. Slap her in there. 100% green build. Alright, let's get this out of the way. Get our preliminaries done here in the engine bay. So we need a new reservoir. Battery should be good. Okay, so that one's probably still in the charger actually. Yep. Radiator is reconditioned. Get a new bug juice container. Back to the store. Servo was reconditioned. Fuse panel. Get some new fuse and relays in there. Go to the electronics store for those. 2 of those. That's the big boys. A lot of this is a repeat, I guess, as far as just what we did on the SS, but obviously different trim. Trying them out for size. So it looks like the standard doesn't have as many parts misaligned as some of the other trims. So obviously this was the basis, I guess, as far as for the other trims. Seems pretty obvious. What did we miss on this? There we go. And there's our cover. Okay, so that's all of that. Got our bottom end of this engine fixed up. Still haven't painted that hood. I need to get that painted. Keep saying I'm gonna do it. I want a waiting hour. Okay, let's get some new Ford exhaust. Back to this store and get all that. Drive shaft, we're going to leave that off, so we're going to do the rear end. Do our turbo resonators. Get some new ones of those. 2, please. Okay. And we're going to take these rear mufflers out. I'll leave them out for the time being until we get this rear end redone. Nice. Yeah, go straight pipes off this thing here. That'd be a wild sound. Yeah, very few rusty bolts on this thing here though, too. Solid. One thing I did forget to look at on the SS, we were like 3,000 in the hole. See where we're at now. Definitely not in the hole. In fact, we more than doubled our money on that as far as fixing that up. That was solid. Finish taking this one apart. At least on the rear end. Rusty lug. Unbolt. And there we go. Let's get these refurbished. So we got some drums we can remachine. Multitasking. A lot of yellow parlors. This means a lot less parts we gotta buy. It's a good thing. Alrighty then, we got another drum here to get machined. Move that one, get that one in. Yo, what's going on there, Dumpster Angel? Doing alright. Just fixing up our standard Monte Carlo. So, wait, am I looking at this right? So this one actually has that piece that goes over the top end of the... This one have it on there too. Yeah, this one don't have that. Okay, so that's something I just noticed. So on this trim here, it has that piece that goes over the top half. The rear tire. I guess this one does not have that. Interesting. That's kind of cool. That's neat how they did that. So let's get this other rotor, or this other drum, let's say. You already get it? Make sure here. So we got brakes, drums. Yep, we got all that, dude. Sweet. So I think the only other thing we need on this one here is the 2 rubber bushings to go into the control arm. So let's get some rubber bushings. And we probably need 2 shocks too, of course. Don't forget about that. Alright, so get this in here. Yeah, we're just been comparing. We've been comparing, I guess, as far as the differences in trims on this Monte Carlo. Available completely for free there on the Steam Workshop. So I've made the point to say, I guess, as far as you can tell, this car was probably the basis for the config, I guess, as far as for the other three configs. So we got the custom, the drag, and the SS. Oh, we don't want to put those on yet. Nope, we're gonna break those down. We got new tires for that. We can see some misalignments of suspension and such too on these other trims, so okay, go ahead. Drums. These are remachined. Good deal. Get our control arm back in there. Rubber bushing. And strap it back onto the axle housing. Nice to see they're still adding cars to workshop. Oh yeah, we're still trying to get ours done too. Want to get it done before, you know, hopefully not too long. I guess as far as before 26 comes out. EMS 26. So we need some new springs. We're trying. We're working towards it. It's go time. But we're not trying to rush it either. That's the other thing. Nothing comes good out of rushing things. And I've definitely noticed out of this car, a lot of things were rushed out. The standard config here, I guess, as far as was definitely the basis for that. So like when you look at the other configs, you can see a lot of misalignments for the axle, drive shaft, and stuff like that. I don't want to get sloppy that way, I guess, as far as with designing our Gen 2. Let's see. So let's get our rear exhaust in there. Finish that up. Very easy to get sloppy, I guess, as far as, you know, it's just like, oh, it should be really quick. We'll just do that and that, and, you know, done. But you're not paying attention, I guess, as far as the other things that adjust when you add certain things, I guess, as far as to the config. Gotta look through it in its entirety. Make sure you have no misalignments. Otherwise, I feel it's just lazy if you don't. We need some new shocks. New shocks for the rear. We still got the fuel tank to do, so let's get our drive shaft. See, this lines up really nice in comparison to the other configs. Nothing misaligned here, I guess, as far as on either end. Okay, so ready for tires. We got to get those taken apart first before we put those back in. Can't wait for the new one to come out. So yeah, I've been mentioning, I guess, as far as I think once we get into March, I'm thinking the first part of March, from the way they've been talking anyway, we should see a demo. What I'm thinking. And that's gonna worry me a little bit, only because we don't have as much as I'd like to have done on the Gen 2, which is this guy. I want to get something out there before that, because you know, once that comes out, even if it is the demo, everybody's going to be focused on that. And there's going to be less emphasis, I guess, as far as on 21. You know what's going to happen. I know for me, I'll probably still play 21, just because I've got a lot invested into it, I guess, as far as cars being created and such. Okay, we need to get these separated. Yep. Yeah, still gotta paint that hood. Kind of mismatched there. So this is off the Cordoba, which is a default rim. I guess it kind of fits, I guess, as far as the profile of this car, pretty good. Yep, so we got new tires. It's a semi-white wall. Well, it's not the full-on white wall. We have the one that has the full sidewall is white. This one is not that way. Okay, let's get those put on the rear. We should pretty much be done on this one. The fact that we already had the engine built for this one, that kind of helped out a lot. Cool. So this should be. Yep. So we got the engine cover to put back on. 99% on parts. Okay, so we missed something. What did I miss? Check our parts list. I missed. Wait, I didn't put the pump back in? I thought I did. Yeah, and then that engine cover, okay. I guess I forgot to put that back in. My bad. Yep, we need to get a new one of those. We already fixed up the pump, I believe. A new tank. You're welcome. No pump. Okay. Now we should be 100%. Now, as far as body panels, we need to put that engine cover back on and also get some plates on it. This should at least get it to 90% if we put that engine cover back on. So I think I did get... I think I already put the coolant in this, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember now. Double check it here. So if nothing else, I'll do this over as well. Nope, I guess I didn't. There we go. So let's get bug juice in there. Let's get the brake juice in this container. Okay, so there's that juice. What else to do is we need cherry juice in here. And I think that's all the juices. That should be all the juices. I guess we gotta put motor honey in it. Motor honey would be nice. Alright, so just check. Yep, guess we've gotta put some motor honey into it. That should be solid. Good deal. Let's check, make sure we got adequate amount motor honey. Looks good here. Okay. So yeah, let me paint this hood. Just don't have that color in our swath. Easy enough. Get some alignments done on this next. So where'd that hood at? Cover two. Here's our hood. Got that color still in our swath. Let's go ahead and paint that. Color matches. Marvelous. Slap her back on. And there you have it. So there's some... Yep, gotta put that engine cover back on. Now just give it the 90%. God, I want to put one so bad in the Gen 2. This cleans that up so nice. That front end. So yeah, we are 90% on body. Gotta do some interior. Alright, let's do some interior on her. Do a disassemble. Bench seat front and back. Not my favorite, that's for sure. So let's do... Do a reassemble. Let's get some new stuff. Go to the interior shop to get those new items. And slap them in. Front bench, rear bench, and steering wheel. Should get our interior. Oh, we gotta do some detailing on it. Yep, I'll get it to 100%. Get that taken care of. They don't detail these from the auction. It's kind of crap, but you know. There we go. Now we should be 100% on interior. So this one cleaned up pretty nice. Put that back out of the way, so now we need to get some alignments on this thing. Get it over to the test bath. Oh yeah, she's a little out of whack. Let's get her less out of whack. And let's do the headlights while we're at it. Oh yeah, those are way out of whack. Make them a little less out of whack. Holy smokes, yeah, these are way out of whack. Ooh, there you have it. So that's all aligned. Now let's see if we can get this base horsepower. 342 on this standard OHV. So let's get over to the dyno. Let's try her out. Beautiful. Class D 175. So our SS was a Class C, I think? Was it 177? Alright, let's get this back over to the lift here for a second. Yeah, she cleaned up really, really nice. So this one was... Oh, this one is a Class D, okay. So both a Class D. The only thing we did put on this one was the performance gearbox. Gonna smooth out those gears, and that seemed to help that out a lot. So I guess what we need to do is, we got this dyno. Let's get this over to the strip and try her out. Bro, there we go. Take her over to the strip and try her out. Let's see what she can do. Alright, over here at the quarter mile. Let's see what we get. Ooh, we got our Z28 Gen 2. I like these matchups, that's nice. So, same generation. Monte Carlo and her Camaro Z28. No tuning. See what we can do against this. Oh, come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, that's getting us. Z28's getting us. Z28 got us. Pretty good time, I guess, as far as... so I noticed the same thing on this one. With the gearings, they're a little tall. So it's a little bit designed more for cruising as opposed to dragging. So we can probably fine-tune that with the performance transmission. This one is a Lotus. Oh, we should be able to smoke this thing. Let's give it a shot. It's got a better part of a 6,000 red line. 6,000 red line on it. So we got low 14s on this car. So I think on our SS, before we put the performance gearbox in it, was like pretty much the same. We're in the low 14s. I think the highest we were was like a 14.3. Not terrible. I don't even want to try that one. So we already, the Z28 already beat us. Now let's get, is that what we're gonna get? Is this the Z28? Come on, bro, give me some, there we go. Cutlass Supreme, V8, 1 carb, no tuning. Try this one. Come on, baby, come on. Oh, look at this. This is a good race. We were catching it. We had a little bit more as far as we probably would have. Oh, I slept there, too. What the heck happened there? 14. Yeah, I think I might have something for this Cutlass. Try that again. Let me try that one again. I think I don't know how I slept there so much. I mean, it's not really that terrible on the gears. You can definitely tell they're really tall. Yeah, we got them that time. There we go. So we actually cracked the 14-second barrier. That's what I'm talking about. It's a good reaction time. So this is the 2 carb OHV. So I know on the SS, I think the 440 6-pack did beat us. From what I do remember. So let's see what the 2 carb OHV can do. We've come to prove, I guess, as far as that the OHV, just the standard V8 OHV, is the better engine out of the overhead valve engines, the old school ones. Solid. Even slept there too. Damn it. What's up with that? Okay, so that's good. I think I got a pretty good hot rod here. Try the Nova. That's got the same engine. Vintage race. Slightly different tires. No tuning. Yeah, nice matchup. See if we can beat the SS Nova. That Nova's got a little bit more on us. Yeah, he's got a little bit more on us. Now, we have proven before, too, I guess, as far as that tires do make a difference. I think that's what we got there, I guess, as far as these vintage race are probably a little bit better than just the vintage tires. Got a little bit more grip to them. Solid. Not bad, I guess, as far as for what we can accomplish here with the standard. No performance on it at all. Let's do one with this one. Right, one more. So you can beat the BMW 3 Series. Yep, there we go again. I guess as far as that's the second time we cracked just barely that 14-second mark. No tuning on this thing at all. Pretty solid. Not bad for a Class D car. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that result. So, call it good on this standard Monte Carlo. Cleaned up really nice there from the auction. So we do have a little bit more cleanup to do, I guess, as far as in our inventory. So the fact that we've got, at this point, 4 different trims of this Monte Carlo. So we've obviously got the SS, got the custom, the drag, and also the standard. A lot of trims there, and I think that's all the trims for that Monte Carlo. So if you haven't tried that one out there, it's a pretty solid car. Some of the other trims, like the SS and the drag and such, I guess as far as they do have some misalignments with like the drivetrain and such, but the standard seems pretty good. Everything seems to line up really nice on that one. So we do have some things we need to sell and or scrap. Did I get too many springs? Hold on. I'm hoping I just maybe bought too many springs. Hold on a minute. So yeah, I think all the parts were showing 100%. Yeah, I just want to, we'll get it back up here and see. I think I might have just bought too many. It's not, not the first time I've done that today. As far as to buy too many parts. So that's 100%. That's 100%. Okay, I guess we're good. Yep, cleaned up pretty nice. Really nice added touch to this standard one here that has that cover up, I guess, as far as on the top half of the... You don't have that on here. Obviously, it just looks a lot lower. But yeah, you don't have that on that trim or even the SS. Solid. I like it. Yeah, this looks really good, I guess, as far as the vinyl top. I'm not usually a big fan of the vinyl tops. But with that color and that body trim, I guess that looks pretty slick. Pretty slick indeed. Alright, let's go sell some parts here. Now, we still should have this engine here. I'm gonna put that into our warehouse, and at some point we'll get that refurbished. We'll get that refurbished. Let's just put this in the warehouse for now. So just to confirm, in our warehouse we have 2 of these to refurbish yet. I think I'm going to save that for another time, but inventory's clear. Had a lot of fun kind of playing around with these Monte Carlos. I'm kind of thinking more, what I'd like to do is make a drag version, my own drag version, I guess, as far as of this using this SS. The only thing that kind of takes me away from it, I guess, as far as the fact it's got the vinyl top. I wish it didn't have the vinyl top on the SS. So what I do like about this car is the fact that it's got the bucket seats with the console, especially with that type of shifter, a gear selector. That's pretty slick. I like that. So as far as I know, in fact, I'll go into the editor here really quick just to see. I think that's all 4 trims that we've tinkered with. Let me do a save on this really quick. We'll go to the editor. Just to see. Just to see and make sure. Alright, let's go. Let's head into the editor. Not the first time we've been into the editor today. We did check out Ghoulishman's, I guess, as far as he's got that Restomod here of this deal. Pretty cool. We may end up having to look for this guy at some point, I guess, as far as to see if we can work on this one. So it's got the 392 Hemi in it, which does require that Jeep Ram, I guess, as far as DLC, as well as the Dodge DLC for the rims. So it needs a couple different trims of DLC, I guess, as far as to get that. So let's check out that Monte Carlo. It's here. There it is, right there. So there's our standard. We just worked on that one. That was our last one we worked on today. Yep, so it only has the 4 trims. So we got the 454 SS, the custom, and the drag. I might have to put a word out there. If we could make an SS version that doesn't have the vinyl top, that'd be slick. So if we could get this one here without the vinyl top, I'd like this. I might put a feeler out there for that to see if we can do an SS without the vinyl top. You know, and still have the badging on here like this, and make this a drag car. That'd be a solid, solid deal. I've put a couple of feelers out there to the creator of this this Monte Carlo, I guess, as far as to the one thing I noticed here too on this one, it's got this badging. I don't think that's on the standard, is it? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so there's some very subtle differences between the different trims like that. Very solid. So highly recommend it, I guess, as far as for this one. If you haven't tried it out already, with a few little twerks to it, I guess, as far as still pretty decent. But it looks like we did acquire all 4 trims that are available for it. That's confirmed here in the editor. So had a lot of fun here today, folks. I do appreciate all the folks that did drop by and stick around, I guess, as far as for our Mechanic Monday here in Car Mechanic Sim 21. We're going to be back here tomorrow, I guess, as far as doing some trucking. We're going to start off there in American Truck Sim, so if you're looking forward to that, want to see that action, make sure you got the channel followed, I guess, as far as to get the notification when the streams are live. Social medias are posted to the channel. I'll go ahead and put these at your fingertips. You can check that out at your leisure. I do like to let the folks know what's going on in between streams. And we like to post a lot of things there. I know Old Timer has been putting in some of the configs that he's created as far as for this game. So feel free to check some of that out over there if you haven't already. We're going to send this off to somebody on the outro. I do appreciate it if you can stick around for the raid on the outro. Taking a look and see who is on here that we can send this off to. Oh, I know where we're gonna go. Interstate was in here earlier. Interstate Travel Crew was in here earlier, so I think they may or may not be lurking on us. So looks like he's on the road. He's doing some IRL trucking. We're gonna send it on over there. We're gonna be doing some virtual trucking over here, like I said. So let's go enjoy some IRL trucking. Or in the meantime, hope you all have a marvelous rest of your Monday, and hope to see you all again tomorrow. Later, everybody.